Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheen out of Atlanta. We got two people here. This is my family here. My brother and sister from another mother, but we got the same father. You know, ladies are always first. So, good morning, Zamari. How you doing this morning?
How y'all doing? See, I do it like y'all
Hey,
now. How y'all doing?
hey, that little country twang in it. Got that little country
I mean,
twang in
look,
it.
it happens when you get moved around everywhere. You go from living in the city and then get shoved down into God knows where Texas for however long it happens. My
Good
kids make
Lord.
fun of me for it too. Like, Mom, you have a twang. I'm like, what y'all talking about? I ain't got no twang. Mom,
You,
stop it. It's weird. Yeah.
you got a twang. You got a twang. And I've never been to that city. God knows where Texas. I wonder, is that close to Dallas or Houston, or I wonder what that's close to. That sounds like a real,
It's
real, real.
literally in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, that's
Middle
that's
of
what.
nowhere.
I'm gonna tell you some. Badger might know, because Badger's actually from Texas. Badger, where's that at? God knows where Texas. Where's that at? What is that close to? And good morning, Badger. How you doing this morning?
I don't know. You have
Just,
any
just
idea how big Texas is?
yeah. Okay,
It's
okay.
huge. It's huge and
It
spaced
is.
out. Now, I don't know, Badger. Do you know where Midlothian is? Have you even heard of it?
Nope.
Nope. I can
There
go in
you
and answer.
go.
Nope.
I'm
That's
in.
where I'm
I
from
go
down
from.
there.
I stay on only the east side,
Mm-hmm. He's sorry.
from top to bottom.
Exactly, exactly. Well, Texas is big, and like I said, I've been through Texas a couple of times. I had opportunities. My wife and I to vacation there, um, twice in the last couple of years, and so we definitely. Well, I only know if it's been 2 years, but we definitely enjoy Texas. Texas is a little different. It's a little different. Mm, It's a little different, but it's Texas. You know, to live in Texas, to know Texas, Texas is just a little tad bit different.
Wait, did
But,
you enjoy it until you actually have to live here?
no, yeah. That's how it is. And see, I talk to people because y'all know I lived in Hawaii for 4 years, and everybody talking, they come there and they say how beautiful it is. And it is incredibly beautiful. It really is. You see, everything from the mountains to the oceans to the little everything. You have it right there on that island. But just imagine being on the island, not connected to any other states. We could just drive to another city or no another state. On the way on this plane or bus, and being there for 4 years might get a little closed in on you. Might get a little closed in on you. Somebody, how would you like that? Being somewhere where you can't drive to another state. Only way on and off, it's on an island surrounded by water. Only way on or off is by plane or boat. How would you like
You're
that?
asking, come on. This is me you're asking here.
Mhm.
I want to live in the middle of absolutely nowhere and be left alone for the rest of my life. So
Wow.
living on an island, I'm good with that.
Mm,
I'm
mm,
okay with that.
woo.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. What do you say about Badger? How would you feel about that? How would you feel about being on that island, surrounded by water, 4 years? Only exit, but not a bus. Talking about bus, plane or ship,
Well, is this before I got married or after I got married and had kids?
both.
If it was before married, I'd never come out.
Mm. You stay on that
And
island.
but no, if it was like if it would have happened now, I'd swim across.
No, you won't.
Then I'd die in the process.
You will not swim. You will not swim that far, brother. Don't even trick your mind into thinking that you ain't gonna swim that
Uh,
far.
A manifestation, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I want to get into this topic today. We're gonna talk about this for a little bit, and other people gonna come in. We're gonna include them into the conversation. But and we're probably gonna shift to something else, because I don't know if this is gonna take us all the way to the 10 o'clock hour. But Zamari,
I'm all
so
ears.
somebody come up to you, and they ask you something about a question about life. They ask you an absolute question about life, and that question tied all together into one simple question: and they say, "Well, Zamari, tell me this. What is the truth? What is the truth?" What do you say to them? Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
I do not have the answer for that, is what I would say. I
Mhm,
mean, because truthfully, nobody does.
mhm,
We
mhm,
just- so I think that would completely floor me, just like right now. The truth to what? The truth to life? Just
mhm.
the ultimate answer to the truth to life. I think
Yeah.
the ultimate answer to that, I would just say, just live your best life.
Mhm.
Live to the best of your abilities and don't worry about everybody else.
But
Just,
they
you
want
know,
to know they want to know excuse me. They want to know what is the truth. Be it life, ultimate life, spiritual life, uh
mm-mm. Nope.
life, period.
Nope.
What is the truth? I need to
Because
know, Mark, because I've been struggling. I've been walking in the dark, bumping into walls and furniture and all kind of stuff, walking around in this thing called life in the dark. And I need to know what is the how do I turn the light of life on, the light of life on. But in order to do that, I have to know what the truth is. What is the truth?
nope. I'm not the one.
What
Straight up. I do
what
not have that answer. The only one that has that answer is the creator, whoever that creator is, whether he's a Christian God, a Muslim God, or whatever God.
mhm.
I cannot answer that. And
What is
that's what I would have to tell them.
what is your truth? What is your truth? If
I don't like that word. I hate that phrase
mhm.
because somebody's truth could be a lie.
Yeah. So your truth could be a lie?
It could be.
Wow.
I
How,
mean, for me, it's a truth, right? The way that I live my life, my happiness, that is true for me, but
mhm,
that's not going to work for somebody else.
mhm,
Not always. The way that it's like we were talking last time, one of the last times I was on the show. Anyway, we were talking about, the effects of trauma and how you've got two people who have identical trauma and one goes in this direction and the other one just kind of stays stuck, right? So you've
mhm,
got two people with a very identical truth in terms of their trauma, but then it separates.
mhm,
And then their truth is not one truth anymore because you've got this one over here who's overcome, and then you've got this one who's stuck over here. So what is truth really? It's what you have in the moment. It's
mhm,
what you're living in the moment. That's your truth.
mhm. But what if that
Whatever
truth
has led to your happiness, that's
mhm.
your truth. That is a true statement for whatever reason that you're happy. Now it could be a complete facade. It could be a
Wow.
band-aid, but
Now
in the
see,
moment it's a
you
truth.
said something just then. In order for it to be the truth, it have to bring happiness. What if that truth brings pain?
No, no, I'm saying
No, no,
mm,
I'm just asking them the question I asked. I know what you meant, but I'm just saying it
okay,
for the
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What if it okay, well, I mean, but sometimes truth does bring pain.
Mhm,
And that's why you need friends like that, especially, right? Who aren't afraid to be honest with you about something, whether you're doing wrong or not,
mhm,
because you need that truth. It
mhm.
might hurt your feelings. You might not want to hear it. You might argue with them. You might turn
Exactly.
your back on them, whatever. But
Mhm,
at least they were being honest and truthful and loyal to you as a friend and not just going along with the program.
mhm,
So, what I just hate that. Your truth. I hate that so much. I hate that phrase so much because people live in that now. Oh, I'm just living my truth. Well,
mhm.
is your truth selling drugs to pregnant women? And are
Wow.
you happy
Wow.
doing that?
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like I hate that because it's not truth. It's a lie. That is a lie
mhm.
because you're doing something that is harming another human being.
So that truth is a lie.
Because you're doing something to harm another human being. And
Mhm,
in my eyes, any truth that causes harm to another human being, physical harm like that is deceit, that is evil. No, that's not pure. That's not pure intention. You might hurt somebody's feeling with the truth, but if there's a good intention behind why you're doing it, then it's good.
mhm. So that there's no way in your life of living. I got to go to Badger with this as well, but in
Yeah.
your life of living, you don't think that there's no way that if this person is doing this and is harming somebody else, say selling drugs and is harming somebody else, there's no way that that could be their truth because
It is their truth, but it's a messed up truth.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not I don't know how to word I don't know how to word it right. It's just
Come
it's
on.
what they have to do in that moment to survive most of the time. Some of
And
them, some of them.
what if that's all that they were given because their parents or their uncles and aunt or brothers and sisters sold drugs,
Right.
and before them they sold drugs. That's how they made a living, and they see that we all have so much. The family has prospered so much from this quote unquote business of selling drugs to other people, harming, hurting, killing other people. But that's how we made our reality. That's how everything that you see around me.
And it's a twisted truth though. It's a
Yes,
twisted reality of
yes, yes.
what is healthy, a healthy truth versus a toxic truth, if you will.
Mhm.
So, but if somebody else were to come along and show them a different kind of way that they can do this thing a different way, not the drugs, get away from the drugs. Let's go over here, let's do this, and let me show you success in a different way, a healthy way. That might blow their mind, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, because you said maybe they don't know any better, or maybe they've never been taught anything. So this is all they know. This is their truth. So then somebody else comes along and goes, I can have a better way for you to do this. Let me show you. That could just like blow their mind. And then they might completely move away from that toxic truth. I hate that. I hate that so much, Raheem. But they might move away from that and then into something healthy.
But what if now? And I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying, and it makes a whole lot of sense. But let me ask you this question as well. Then gotta go to Badger. Um, you tell this person there's another way. You don't have to do this. Come on, I got some. As a matter of fact, I got something for you. Come on, walk with me. And you take them to a construction site.
Brandon, you got six. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And you take them to a construction site where you say, look at here, you can make your money right here. And they look at the people that's working there. They're tired, look worn out, dusty and dirty. Um, and they say, man, how much they make? And you say, well, they make $22 an hour, $30 an hour. They make $30 an hour. And how much they make a week? And they say, well, they bring home a few $1,000s a week. Man, I make more than that in 6 hours doing what I do. In 6 hours. So you want me to give away this and come over here and wear myself out and work so hard and be dirty and all day, go home funky and stinking all day long for this little bit of money? When I can make all this money over here doing what my family has been doing forever, why would I give that up? Why would I do that? What do you say, boy? And there's some people that think that way.
Yeah, there is, but that, oh my God. Now, see, you're getting into a whole other thing. You better go to Badger. let him speak.
But see, I would love to hear what your response would be to that, though. I mean, if you don't want
okay, I will try to make this as short as possible because I really want you to be able to go to him too. But it's, when you have an easy way to make money, it's hard to walk away from that.
yes,
It's very hard to walk away from that. And it's hard to convince somebody to walk away from that. And I mean, like, I've even said it on here before. I don't think I should have said it publicly, but I've said it on here before where at one point or another, because we were struggling so bad, I had even brought it up to Ryan, like maybe we should be doing something on the side.
Yeah.
Why not? Everyone else is doing, we can't get a leg up doing anything else. We might as well. And I'm not even gonna lie, I absolutely sat on that and molded over for quite a bit because why not? Because you get so frustrated with trying to struggle or with just trying to make it and struggle and you struggle and you struggle and you struggle and nothing is changing. So I can see where people how they would get into that, or even for generations stay in that because it's good money. Their rent is paid, their lights are on, they got nice cars, nice home. They ain't got to worry about all that. So I get it. But you also see the darker side of that because it's not just that money. There's other things going on. And that might be the one thing that kid you're talking about, or man, whatever, he might go, you know what? Maybe it is time for a change. Maybe it is because I'm tired of seeing bodies drop over here.
That's good.
It might be. And other ones be like, nah, I'm all about it. Because
Mhm.
they're so warped, right? Because they've seen that their whole life. Anyway, I'm done.
Badger, what and somebody come to you, Badger, and they ask you this question. I've been walking around in the dark for so long in this thing called life, bumping into the walls, bumping into the furniture, just bumping into everything around me, man, because I can't figure out what this truth everybody saw. What is the truth? Badger, what is the truth that's gonna turn that light on in my life and allow me to get out of this darkness? Badger, they ask you what is the truth. What do you say to them?
Hmm. Well, I'd ask them what their perception of it is.
No, no, they coming to you for help, Badgers. They don't know. They don't know.
Oh,
They have no
I
idea.
understand that.
Okay, but listen, don't turn the question back on them. Don't do that because I think that's very unfair to do that. When somebody come to you for something and you turn it back on them, me, I think that's very unfair. So what if they came to you for an answer?
You're asking me, right?
I am asking you, but I'm also asking you to be a little more transparent than that and not
I
try
am
to
being transparent.
listen, Badger. Listen, Badger. Not try to turn the question on them. Just answer the question best. If you can't answer the question, that's fine, but answer it best you can.
Hmm. It's an experience to find out what path you're called for, and that's my perception.
Mm, okay, that's your answer to it.
Yeah, I can't tell them what their truth is. That's something they
Mhm.
have to find within themselves.
That's good. That's good.
That's why I'm not. I. You should know after over a year, certain things like questions like this, I'm gonna answer it with a question
Hmm.
because anyone that has come up to me and asked me that question, I have returned with a question.
Okay. Do you think you help them in finding the answer by asking them a question and not dealing with it head on?
That's up to them.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Well, the tool of introspection, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right?
Hmm. But at least you
But
show
if
them
you
what.
give them the
But at least you
tools,
show them. But at least you show them where the water is, and only thing I'm asking you to do is show them where the water is. Answer the question. We could do all these
no,
things and put all this stuff out in the atmosphere. All that's fine. That's good. But my thing is
I'm
what
not
I
from the same culture that you are.
it has nothing to do with culture, Badger. It's a
Yes, it
question.
does.
Okay. Okay. Stay right there, Badger. Let me go to Rico. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm just enjoying another beautiful new day.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, somebody come up to you and they say, Rico, man, listen, bro. Man, I come to you, man, because I know you're gonna give it to me straight. You ain't gonna chase it around the bush, and you ain't gonna blow no smoke up my behind. Man, in this thing called life, in the dark, man, bumping into walls and furniture and all kind of stuff in this darkness, man. I'm just trying to find out what is the truth. How could I, in this thing called life, how could I turn the light on and realize what the truth is in this thing called life? Be it physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. What is Rico? What is the truth? How do you answer that question?
I tell them I'm trying to figure it out myself, and don't nobody know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody know the whole truth,
Mm-hmm.
but they do know a lie. You know, science changes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are things they taught us when we were younger in science that has been blown out the water now.
Mm-hmm.
Completely unacceptable teaching
Yeah.
because of new discoveries. At one point in time, people thought the earth was flat and that the sun rotated around the earth. And that was taught. That was common practice. That was the truth. That was the fact.
Yeah.
Or that was the standard
Mm-hmm. What they thought it was. Yeah.
that somebody created.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing with you. Uh-huh.
Okay. And so, once you start seeing that those things happen in history, I tell people anytime they ask me that question, man, the whole journey. You know, nobody was around back then at the beginning of time, and around a million years after that, to really know what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
You can quote the Bible, you can quote the Quran. It's still so many different things that we really just don't know what the whole truth is.
Mm-hmm.
So man's whole journey in this thing is not only trying to make sure that they could preserve this thing called life, this experience, this creation,
Mm-hmm.
but also trying to figure out where it came from,
Yeah.
why and how it happened. And you know, I made a post the other day that I said, you know, to me, it's every human being's purpose or motivation should be to find out why and how life was created and how to make sure it continues.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now that how and why part we might not ever figure out, but how to make sure that it continues for generations and eons to come, that is our purpose, to make sure that we pass on what the people that came before us gave us the opportunity to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to evolve and progress and become a better species, a
Mm-hmm.
protector. I think about Noah. You know, I'm not a religious person, but Noah was preserving life.
Yes.
He was that's what his job or his duty or maybe his passion was.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just something in him to say that out of all appreciation of all life and my recognition of how important it is. I think I want to save every species on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
I want the ability to make sure that when this thing is over, we can procreate and replenish.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would think that that's one of the only obvious truth is that I could tell somebody. But other than that, I would tell them that, you know, hey, we all trying to figure it out. That's the whole purpose of science. That's the whole purpose of math. We all trying to figure it out as we go.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be wise for us not to just accept the next person's standard or definition or maybe reasoning, theory of what the truth is.
Mm-hmm. Rico, you know, wow, and I love how you handled that, brother. I appreciate that. Actually, both of y'all, all of y'all, we got our Dawn on the line too. We're gonna ready to go to Tucson too. But my thing is one of the things that I realized, and I heard somebody say this, and I didn't pay attention to it. I heard it, but I didn't pay attention to it. But one of the things that I realized in this thing called life, this journey called life, I realized that I'm smart enough to know. I'm smart enough to know. I'm intelligent enough to know that I know nothing. Because everything that you would perceive as being the truth today could change tomorrow. You said about the earth being I think you said flat. And that was at that time what they perceived to be the truth. But as time evolved, it changed. The truth was, like we said, realistically, we talked about yesterday, dealing with the Wright brothers. The truth was at that time, there's no way that plane, that big craft, gonna get up in the air and fly across the air. There's no way. That's never happened before. That's not truth. You're being foolish. Realistically, it happened, and now one of the main means of transportation is a plane. That's one of the main means of transportation. That's where if you're going from here to over yonder, you don't have to worry about driving and being worn out, tired, or riding a horse and carriage and all this stuff. Get on that plane, man. A couple hours, you're there. Get all freshen up, and you still got your day. So what do you say to that, Rico?
I mean, I agree. You know, that really is what it boils down to. Is that, you know, some of the things that we think we know for sure, for certain, you know, they may change.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's one thing that I do know for certain is that I'm alive and I don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't ready to die. When I wake up every morning, I do know that I am happy that I received another day, because these days aren't guaranteed. The only thing guaranteed about them is that they're going to run out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only thing that I know for sure. The only thing I know for sure. Other than that, some thought I believed or thought I knew was blown out of the water from experiences, supernatural experiences, sightings, you know, different things that I know was beyond me. And I couldn't even explain that. And once I went through those experiences, those miraculous supernatural experiences that I could not explain, and I couldn't find anything on this earth that could logically explain it to me, because it wasn't logical.
Yeah.
That's when I knew then, man, I don't know nothing.
Exactly.
It's a whole lot of existence and things going on right underneath my nose, and I can't even see it. I started reading science books and started understanding that there are things that we can't perceive with our optical abilities that's happening right beneath our nose. Start looking under microscopes and you start seeing just entire environments and living things moving under microscopes that you can't see with the naked eye. So I mean, yeah, man, we'll never know it all. So if somebody was to ask me that question once again, I would tell them, man, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this thing out myself as I go. I think everybody is.
Exactly. Badger said, I ain't gonna say what he said, but Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
That's what I was saying earlier. It's introspection. You ask the person questions to get them to think, to help them figure out the answer to their own question, which provides a whole different thing, because you have to be careful to not be put on that pedestal for them to end up trying to worship somebody else instead of them worshiping the source. So you have to help them find the answer within themselves. It's a different way, a very different way of handling a question like that versus what most people would think. So some possibly would prefer a direct answer or a all-knowing answer. But the way I see the world ain't going to be the same as you. So I'd rather help you find your answer for that question by making you think.
How do you know?
That's what was taught to me.
How do you know you're sending them down the right path? Because if you're going to give them something, you're only giving it to them from your perspective and from your experiences in life. Who's to say that that's the same journey that they're on? Who's to say that
that's why I don't answer that.
No. You just said you say you give it to them in a way so they can open up themselves and get the answer that they're looking for through you. But the way that who's to say that the way that you're guiding them is the right way?
What? Oh, sorry, the chat. It's not my decision. If a person's coming to me, then there's a reason for it.
Okay.
And that's not within my control.
Okay, but listen to my question, Badger. My thing is, if you send them on any journey, if you do anything to guide their path, if you will, who's to say that the way that you're guiding them is the truth in the way that they need to go? Because you may be guiding them in the way that you're going and from your life experience and the things that you've experienced, but who's to say that your experience and their experiences are the same and they need to travel the same path that you traveled?
So there's two responses to that. And that also depends on how far they want to go with it.
Wow.
So to me, if they are really serious about finding the answer to that question, I asked them which path are they called to? Because there's no harm picking up a Bible and reading it, going to talk to a preacher or a priest. If you're wanting to walk this path, here's resources to do this. Here's resources for this path and this path. This is one that this path over here is the one that I walk and I do my best to follow, but it ain't for everybody. You got to look within yourself to figure out which one calls to you.
Exactly. And that's my point. How do you know that you're sending them down the right path? That's a simple question. But my thing, let me go to Toussaint. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, good. You're doing pretty good, sir. I'm doing good. You're doing pretty good. Somebody come to you, Tucson, and they look at you. They say, "Man, you look like you got it together, brother. You look like you got it together, man." Let me ask you a question. I've been walking around in the dark, excuse me, for so long, bumping into walls and furniture and all kind of different things, man, trying to find the light, trying to find what the truth is in this thing called life. You look like you got it together, brother. What is the truth?
Everything that look good ain't good.
Mm,
That's the truth.
wow. So you
We
don't
all,
have.
no, we all got struggles.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that you handle them.
Mm-hmm.
The way that you're looking at your, you might need to take another look at your problems in a different perspective. It's not the problem. It's the way you're looking at it. That's what I tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people have a tendency to make their problems bigger than they actually are, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they did it to themselves. Problem ain't that big.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, some problems are serious. But
Yeah.
we let them climb the, you know, into our imagination and overwhelm us. And some of them were real bad because, you know, cancer ain't no joke. Sickness is not is serious. But I kind of look on the other side of issues.
Uh-huh.
I have to. For my own, not saying that I don't even know if they're gonna get better. But I have to have a hope that at least it's a possibility that they might.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a choice. Otherwise, it'll overwhelm me and I ain't gonna be able to handle it.
Wow.
That's what I would say
Mm-hmm.
to anybody. Don't let it beat you down. It's not that big.
And
I mean, easier to say it than done, but
exactly. And let me ask you this, like I asked Badger earlier, the path that you select or elect to send them down because of your experiences and what you have experienced in your life, who's to say that that's the path that they should be going down themselves?
that's another thing. You got to walk your road. You can't walk mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to. We try to clone people, try to get people to think like us. You don't have to think like me. Do your own thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That's just me, man. I don't try to fit into people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
I got to fit in mine. I got enough problem trying to fit in mine rather than trying to fit in yours. Devil is a lie. I'm just saying. A lot of time we trying to go tit for tat with people. And we try to, I guess I would say, keep up with the Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
Your name ain't Jones. Why are you trying to do that? You get people and they trying to, how can I say this? They try to buy a Cadillac with Chevrolet money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how you living. I know how it appears you're doing pretty well right here. I mean, but I don't know what it took for you to get where you at.
Mm-hmm.
Might have took a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think that somewhere in the scriptures I read, it says, "Too much is given, much is required."
Yes, sir.
So what you got? How do you keep that running?
Mm-hmm.
I had to for the last week or so. Y'all notice that I had internet problems and device problems. You know why? I deleted everything on my old laptop. I don't even have Google on it. How you delete Google?
How do you delete Google? Like, for real, how did you do that?
Leave it up to Tucson. Leave it up.
It's like a factory reset.
I had to. Well, Brad, I'm gonna mail you my laptop. I got to start all over. I just went and get me another one. I just say, what the heck? I gotta go put it in I gotta bring it to Best Buy today.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. So what I'm saying, why I said that is, I'll be looking at. I said, "Now you know what?" And we talked about it, Raheem. I need to give you a plane ticket or a tank full of gas so you can come down here and set me up or something, because
Mhm.
I'm trying to get my setup, and I'm in there for a year, and I ain't got the TV to turn on yet.
Yeah, I'm about to come your way, brother.
So what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, and that's not a promotion for you to come, but I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it took for you to get there. I'm pretty sure it didn't just, you couldn't snap your finger and it happened.
No,
I'll
no,
bet
sir.
you that.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to get up early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Early in the
There
morning,
you go. Yeah, the
in
song
the middle
is,
of the
oh
century,
well, there you go.
late at night,
Oh
babe,
well. And
everything will be
if you
wrong.
missed this show, what say we go?
Wow, he about to can me, about to can me. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Go family.
Leonard, somebody come to you. Good to have you this morning as well, brother. Somebody come to you, man, and they say, Leonard, man, I've been watching, brother. You look like you got it. You like you got it together, man. You like you got it all together, brother. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the fact that you have it all together. Me, I've been walking around, man, bumping myself, bumping into walls and in this dark, man, bumping into furniture, tripping over all kind of stuff, just tripping and falling all over everything. Leonard, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to get turn this light of life on? Leonard, what is the truth? What is the truth? How do you answer that question?
Well, usually I would say the truth is relative. It is exactly what it is, and it will always be that. How do you fit into that truth?
Mm-hmm.
It's about you. It's about what you choose. All together, according to who? Where are you going? Where would you like to go? What are you actually looking for? A lot of people confuse themselves so well. And it makes no sense to worry about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You did not come into this world to set everybody else straight. None but yourself.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Now, I'm going somewhere with this thing, Leonard. Walk with me, brother. What did you say if somebody were to say that, or that's the exchange, and they say, well, man, that could be a very selfish approach when you're just only thinking about yourself. That could be a very selfish approach, man. I'm not a selfish person, man. I don't think like that. What do you say to them at that point, Leonard?
Well, if it's about self, then you should know.
Mm-hmm. No, they say they're not selfish, and they don't just think about themselves. They think about everybody. Everybody have to exist
That's
in this thing called life.
Well, if they're not, they shouldn't have any problem
Mm.
since they're not selfish.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They shouldn't have to deal with any of those problems that come from self.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because when people make these value judgments or what have you, or this should be this way or that way. Okay, what was the standard? What's your standard?
Mm-hmm.
Most people's problem is they don't have good religion.
Mm.
And that's their problem.
Mm. Okay.
And how they look at those types of things that they choose to do. People can tell you anything, but if you watch them, you'll find out who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just run their mouth, and their mouth don't match their action.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good.
I'm
deal.
not a selfish person, but 9 out of 10 people I ask that have dealt with you, that has been the case.
Mm-hmm. You found them to be selfish.
You have to be selfish. Exactly. Like I'm a very good believer in pulling your record
Mm-hmm.
because I don't trust what you're saying to me right now. But I definitely trust everything you've done up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at that record.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Then you'll know what you have to.
Good deal. Good deal. Zamari?
Oh my gosh, dude, you caught me off guard because I'm sitting here talking to my daughter. What?
Same thing, same situation. Like I said, how do you know? And I want
Okay.
you to answer this question. How do you know they came to you, ask you what is the truth? What is the truth? And you answer, you answer in the way that you answer it. But how do you know? How do you know that the truth that you're giving them is not your truth? It is your truth and not their truth. How do you know you're sending them down the right path?
Well, I guess, Raheem, I don't like you this morning. Here, baby, take that. I mean, that's almost impossible, right? You can answer that only from the perspective of your own personal experiences, what
Mhm.
that truth is. You can't answer that minus some sort of bias. That's just impossible because
Mhm.
you could tell them the truth to happiness is this. But for someone else, the truth to happiness is going to look like, okay, is I like being thin. I don't like
Mhm.
being, a certain weight. And so
Mm.
what does that mean for me? That means that I have to cut back on certain things and not eat certain things and not do certain things. Whereas somebody else might be able to lose weight and still eat and do certain things that I cannot do. So that truth is going to look different for people who are on a weight loss journey, for instance, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So there is no one right answer for anything like that. For me, writing makes me happy. It puts my thoughts in order. It gets things out. For others, it's talking to somebody. So truth, there's just variables to all of that. You cannot tell somebody, I guess, for most of us, there's only one way to change a light bulb.
Mhm.
You can only unscrew it, take it out, put another one in, screw it back in, right? But it's not that simple for anyone. They might need a 20-page manual to figure out how to do that.
Exactly.
So it's just, you cannot give look, if we had you're asking basically, Raheem, for the instructions of life.
Basically, yes.
That's what you're asking for.
Mhm.
If we had that, every parent since the dawn of man would be given the manual
Mhm.
from the moment of our birth.
Mhm.
So, but like what Rico said, is the truth is always changing, and it's true. It is. The truth is always changing. They'll tell you something is good for you one day, and then next week it's bad for you, and the earth is flat. Oh, no, we were wrong. It's round. Pluto's a planet. No, it's not. So you can't give anyone, you can give them, I suppose, basic key elements to live a certain way in life. But what they do with it from there, whatever side roads they take from there, that's their journey. And each one of our journeys is a unique individual experience to us. But we could take 20 different roads. Someone could give us a straight path. This is what you do. We're all going to take all of these different side roads, but hopefully at the end of our journey, we're all going to come back to that center road and meet in the middle, right? That's the whole plan. We all find that happiness one way or another, regardless of whatever roads we take to get there. And sometimes, most of the time, you end up having to curve off onto these side streets to get to that place of happiness. You've got to go through these experiences. You've got to do these things. You have to go through the fire. You have to do that to get to where it is that you're supposed to be. And you can't take a shortcut.
Wow. Can't take a shortcut. That's powerful. Can't take a shortcut. Rico, talk to me, brother.
I think the truth might be in logic.
Mm-hmm.
Like how 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah.
Now it might be wrong or it might be right, but it might be the truth. Like 2 + 2 does not equal 5. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you find the truth in facts and in logic, reason. You know, when things start making sense. That's why a lot of times you be like, okay, I just figured it out. Now it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything lined up, and the result or the answer came out to be just right.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it came out to be wrong, but you still were able to identify that was wrong, that didn't work, that process, that thought process, those actions. So, you know, yeah, I think the truth is mainly in facts
Mm-hmm.
and
Wow.
logic and reasoning. You know, once you get understanding, then you'll know pretty much what the truth is when it pertains to whatever your question is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know, it's sort of complicated, but I guess somebody would have to ask me the truth about what.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody was to say and come up and say, well, what is the truth? Truth about what? First off, tell me what it is that you want to know the truth about. Because some things I might be able to tell you, some things I might not be able to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, we have certain conversations on here, and when people have a certain standpoint or maybe a political side that they support, they may make points that supports their agenda or maybe, you know, their reasoning behind why they justify going along the lines of supporting who they support.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there may be a deeper truth that they're either ignoring or maybe they just don't know about, or maybe it goes so much further back to the point that they don't understand the trickle effect or the cause and effect from some things that happened way back in the past that they are omitting. And it keeps them from understanding the reason why they stand the place there, or the reason why they support what they support is wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know, if you don't have that understanding, you may actually be supporting somebody that's really against everything that you stand for. But you don't pay attention to it because these other things that you stand for goes in your favor, and y'all relate, y'all identify. And as long as you identify with this person, y'all get along. As long as there's a reward or I'm gonna say a relationship that works, is amicable between two people. A lot of times they have that if it ain't broke, don't fix it mindset,
Mm-hmm.
depending on their purpose and their value system. So, you know, when I look at just the science of psychology and people and politics and religion, I know that most people follow the religion that they follow because it makes them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the purpose that they have.
Yeah.
Most people vote a certain way because it benefits them in certain areas. Maybe not in all areas, but in certain areas. And then they have to ask themselves for what they stand for. If they are humane and they're about, you know, standing for people, are they voting or are they supporting certain people because it benefits them in this man-made system, or because it actually lines up with what they think the creator would want?
Mm-hmm. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Asking the question, what is the truth? What is the truth? Somebody come to you and they want to know what is the truth in this thing called life. Toya with a T, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Toya, asking a question. Somebody come to you, a very good friend of yours, come to you, they say, Toya, or they say, Toya with a T. Listen, I've been watching for a while. Sis, you seem to have it together. You got it together. And I've been walking around in this dark for a long time. I've been bumping into things, tripping over all kind of stuff, man, bumping into furniture, walls, tripping over everything, trying to find my footing, trying to get to the truth. Toya, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to get this light of life on so I don't have to stumble and fall all over the place like I'm doing? Toya, what is the truth? How do you answer that good question?
Oh, geez, I don't know. It's like the truth about what? Geez, the truth about life. I mean,
Life,
you got to keep your
ex-
nose clean. That's how I feel about it.
yeah,
You got to
life.
need to keep your nose clean, keep your head up. You got to be strong and fearless, honey. Because the truth about it is, ain't nobody here to love you. Ain't nobody here to give you nothing in the world. Sure ain't gonna like you.
Mm, wow.
Truth is, you out here. You got to do this for yourself. You got to figure out what you want to be, what you want to do, where you want to go, and how you gonna achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
Because ain't nothing out here nice. Ain't nothing out here friendly. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing out here to play with you. Everything out here in these streets is real deal. So
Yeah.
you either gonna roll or get rolled over. So
Mm-hmm.
what you gonna do? I mean, what we talking about? You know what I'm saying? The truth about what? Because
Mm-hmm.
you can't just have no random truth because there's too many different worlds to say the truth about what? What you trying to be a drug dealer? What you trying to be a pimp? Because all of them got different truths.
Mm-hmm.
What you trying to be a teacher? What you trying to be a congressman? Because every different avenue in life got different truths. So I'm gonna need you to be more clear. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to life and how you're going to be able to handle this thing, you got to even know what the truth about who you are, what you want to be. It's like yesterday. Do you want to know the truth about life because you're the guy that got the prosthetic leg, and then when you
Mm-hmm.
want to go play in the NFL, they didn't choose you. So
Mm-hmm.
now you want to know what the truth about life is. When the fact of the matter is, prosthetic leg or not, you wasn't the fastest, you wasn't the best, you couldn't catch, you
Mm-hmm.
couldn't throw, and now
Mm-hmm.
you come up here and tell me the truth about life and why I didn't make it when you simply did not fit the criteria of what you're trying to be. So
Mm-hmm.
I need a little bit more clarity when you ask me what
That's
the truth
good.
is because I'm gonna have to break down different truths different
Mm-hmm.
ways.
So basically, in a nutshell, Toya, and I'm being funny, but I'm being serious at the same time. In a nutshell, you almost got to hurt their feelings because you got to present certain truth to them that they're not really ready to face.
Well, you know what? It's not about hurt feelings because when you fall and you skin your knee, the fact is that it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't dead. You'll be
Yeah.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna get your feelings hurt a lot in life. And trust me, I'm gonna be the hurt first because I'm gonna hurt you softly. This real world out here, you ain't got no time for hurt feelings. Like I just said, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta be thick, and you gotta know how to move, and you gotta know when to be sensitive. But at the end of the day, if your feelings hurt simply off of what I just said, that means we got a lot of work to do. Because what the world gonna do to you ain't gonna touch nothing to what I just said. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got work to do if you hurt off of just simply me just explaining to you how rough and raw the world is.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Badger, talk to me.
Anything specific?
Same topic, brother. We talking about the same topic.
I just didn't know if you wanted to throw something out there or not.
No, no, sir. Mm-mm.
So that's I had a huge conversation with a couple of people about what is truth. Like, and brought up the conversation of the truth, individual truth, and things of that nature. And it's interesting if you get a group of people together, you can have atheists, Muslims, Hindu, Judaism, and a whole different beliefs. There's a commonality of there's a source or a being above all.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, there's differences in certain areas, certain topics. So at that point, it's like, what religion? I guess you could also ask, what belief is the truth? And that's where, to me, things can get overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say difficult, but I think overwhelming is better fit.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
So, and the reason I'm bringing that up when you're asking this question is why, you know, I approach things the way that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it was the way I was taught, and it makes sense to me because what without being the other person, being in the other person's shoes, the best we have is the story of our life to help the other person. If so within that, if they choose to go, hey, your story, your life story sounds rough, but the end goal sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do your best to guide. However, it's still up to that individual to figure out what works for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel the tool of introspection is so important, helping them figure it out for themselves. And to me, that's how we are being responsible to others.
Okay. Now, what if a piece or a part of why they're coming to you is because they've been in that dark for a long time, for years, and they can't figure it out, and so they need a little guidance from you, a little assistance from you in figuring out. What are you doing that at that point?
My experience dealing with people like that is because they continue to choose to be there
Mm.
a lot, and there are going to be people that ain't going to like this, but yet, not but. When it's almost like they go here, they don't like the answer. They go here, they don't like the answer. They go here and don't like the answer. It's almost like they just want the answer given to them and think there's no work involved.
That sounds like church hopping.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
You know what? That never mind. That don't even surprise me. Forget
Mm-hmm.
I asked. God, Raheem. Well, that's the thing. If
Mm-hmm.
you are really wanting to figure out the connection to something greater than yourself, it is work.
Mm-hmm.
It is working on one's mindset to overcome the things that hold you back.
Mm-hmm.
Be it trauma, be it doubt, be it wanting control. You know, notice I said want control.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I can share my personal story and what I believe all day long, but that does not make it the truth for everybody.
Absolutely. Good point. Good deal. Good deal. That's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother. Badger put a lot out there, man. I love the direction he went in.
I
What's
like it too.
yeah.
I kind of like that because I think he said something like, well, whose religions or something
Yeah.
to that effect is true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought about that. Is it possible that you got to combine them both to get the truth?
Mm.
All of them, and find out that some of them are false religious.
Wow. Wow.
But there's a truth to
You're
it.
stepping on some toes now. You're stepping on some toes. You're stepping on
It's
some toes.
truly false. It is what it is, but that's true.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what we do is if we can't prove our point, we prove to discredit.
Mm-hmm.
But suppose God is bigger than, which he is, your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
We can, it's possible that we can walk together and agree.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't walk together unless we agree.
Mm-hmm.
But let's take a walk and see if we can come up with something in your truth and my truth, and not throw yours and just say, well, there ain't nothing there. You got to come my way to get there,
Mm-hmm.
wherever I'm trying to get. But there's many roads from New York to California.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you just can't get there one way, but you can get there.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, you can start in New York and go east and get to California. Take you a long time.
Real long time.
But you can't. It can be done.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody say, well, you're going the wrong way. That ain't got nothing to do with truth.
Mm-hmm.
I can get that. But I've learned, well, I'm trying to learn that I might take I might have to every once in a while take and I'm just using this for example. I don't want to call nothing out. I'm just saying what I'm saying because my mouth open. I might need to take a little walk every once in a while in cap shoes because it's working, evidently. It's working for him. Matter of fact, it's been working for him for years. It's been working. And it had caused him to be influential in this, I think that's a word, in this society and beneficial to a lot of folks. But if I just say, nah, you got to come, or you got to be like me. I love the Lord, he heard my cry, and I can speak in tongue, but I don't want to speak to you. Church hopping. You said something about church
Yes,
hopping.
sir.
Some people don't not only church hop, they change religions altogether. We got this thing now. Oh, I ain't gonna say that.
Come on. Come on.
They got people that are y'all gonna be mad at me. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You scared?
No. I just want to brace yourself. They are the true Israelites, but they can't speak no Hebrew.
Come on.
That's true.
You hitting them.
That's true.
You hitting them.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're trying to prove something that they're not sure of themselves. If we have this merciful God that has a plan for the whole world, why are you kicking folks out? You're doing the same thing the other folks did. You really are.
Yep.
You're limiting him to fit you. The way you so in order for you to make yourself feel good about you discredit somebody else. Really? And you make that your truth, and your truth becomes a part of another lie. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Or a half truth. But if you add your truth with somebody else's truth, is it possible that you can get the truth?
Is half truth a whole lie?
Oh yeah. You either telling the truth or you're telling a lie, or you're making something up. What is making something up? Guessing.
Yes, sir.
Assumptions.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Ryan, watch this. You see that picture I got right there?
Yes, sir.
See that person at the back?
Yeah.
That's me.
Look at like you about to take over something. You passing it off, ain't it?
Man, look, I'm bringing it home.
Oh, you bringing it? and
look, Rico, I'm reminiscing.
I'm
reminiscing. I'm reminiscing.
And what you say? That's the truth. That's the truth. Good deal.
My truth.
Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I was thinking about you asking what the truth was, and I was thinking about this video that I saw yesterday with Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Admitting to his oldest children, well, his two legitimate children, that he had two illegitimate black children.
Yep.
And he was leaving them everything. I told y'all to get everything you could while I was here. I told you to make as much money as you could. And then he apologized to them and told them the truth. Listen, I knew about y'all the whole time. I really fell in love with y'all, mama, but my wife said she was going to expose me.
Yeah.
Not only did I have a child by this woman, but I had two children by this woman. Black woman.
Yeah. Yep.
And had to deny them all these years just to keep his wife from ruining him.
Mm-hmm.
He had to hide that truth. And those children had to live without the rights to the person that brought them into this world, that helped create them and introduce them to this experience. They had to be neglected that because somebody else wanted to deny the truth. They didn't want to accept the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you got children out here, but I tell you what, if you do one thing for them, but then, you know, it sort of made me think about with depending on the eye of the beholder. Some things might be very hilarious and funny to some people, and to other people, they're not hilarious. It's not hilarious at all.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't one thing funny about it. Matter of fact, somebody might cry or be hurt from what we laugh at. Now, they might say, well, it might not be funny to you, but it was funny to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to laugh, but I thought it was funny. But if it was somebody hurt in the process of you getting your laugh, if somebody was made expendable or had to go through some pain or trauma for the expense of your humor or laughter, and maybe it wasn't intentional, maybe it was accidental, but you had to laugh at them, man, that ain't really funny. That's what the truth is. You can say it's funny all you want to. It's funny to you. But the whole truth is it is not funny because this person is having some traumatic thoughts. They can't sleep at night. It ain't funny that everybody was watching them get whooped on for 5 or 10 minutes and they didn't fight back and they didn't want to fight, but y'all were laughing about how funny they looked while they were just sitting down there getting whooped on. You didn't break it up, you recorded it and laughed. Some things ain't funny, but to other people, they might be very hilarious. Somebody's downfall or misfortune. So, you know, the truth is if it's some pain involved, if it's not righteous, if it's not positive, if it hurts or harms anyone else, the truth is that it might not be funny. It might be dead wrong for you to be laughing about that.
Yeah.
But some people don't like to hear the truth because it would cause them to be held accountable or responsible, or it would just expose them for being insensitive. So, I mean, you know, man, this truth thing is big, man, you know, but it was funny that, you know, you had this conversation because I watched that wheel, that living wheel that he made on video. And man, you gotta give it to Jerry, man. I mean, you know, even in all the wrong that he did and in denying them the opportunity to have their father the way they deserve, he made sure in the end. Now, I don't know how old they are. I don't know how long they got to enjoy this stuff. You know, but in the end, he left them everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And he said, hopefully it's enough to make up for it. He apologized to his oldest children, with his legitimate children, you know, but he didn't pull no punches, man. I mean, and that's what the truth was. After all these years, all the children learned the truth about his actions, his deceit, his behavior, the way he handled it, why he handled it that way, and who was behind him, or I must say persuading him and handling it the way that he did, who was pressuring him to go and act out of order the way that he did, to not be a man and stand up for, you know what I'm saying, the children he created. I mean, I think that was big that he did that, man, you know what I'm saying, but I was a Jerry Springer fan anyway.
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, even though out of all that debauchery and foolishness that you would see at the end of his show, can nobody deny that the thoughts that Jerry had at the end of that show wasn't nothing but the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jerry's final thoughts.
Final thought.
Exactly. Always struck a chord and hit home. Out of all the foolishness, the truth is, and the reality is this is what we need to be doing. We need to be more compassionate and kind and loving towards other human beings.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, man, that was a dude right there, man. He really showed you what truth is out of all of the things that he did. In his final message, he still was able to deliver the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Exactly. Now, Toya, let me ask you this question, because what Rico just brought to the conversation was very powerful. And I actually saw that video as well. But how do you think the children that are left behind, his biological and his illegitimate, if you will, if you want to use that terminology, how do you think they're going to live in that truth now that they know that biologically kids got nothing, left. You know, they had the luxury of living with him and having everything that he had while they were there, while he was here. But the illegitimate children got nothing. And now that he's gone, he left everything. How do you think their truth? How they gonna live and exist in that truth?
I mean, well, it depends because people react differently. Not having your father around, you can miss a lot of different core values.
Yeah, yeah.
Not having a stable family can change the trajectory of how you handle things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about money. I'm just speaking from a child's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, it's not about money. It's about the fact that I want you in my life.
Yes.
It's not about the gifts. It's not about the toys. It's not about what you do. It's the matter is you're my father, you're my mother, and I'm supposed to have you with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way around that. And when that gets broken down, it doesn't matter how much money you could throw in somebody's face. It doesn't replace the fact that your child felt like you didn't want me or that anything, and everything was more to you than me. Right? So I think that's first and foremost one difficult thing to cope with, the fact that even if you think it's about money, you didn't trade everything in to get to know me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the most hurting thing out of all of this, is that I would have traded in the world to be with you. And you didn't do that.
Exactly.
Being financially fit, right? For some of us that probably have come from impoverished type lives, okay, it still may help, right? They may spend it, they may blow it, right? Or they may do some good with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't think that you can put a price on what a parent can bring to your life. So their children, I know they're probably all discombobulated right now.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that did know him, the ones that didn't know him, now he's gone. I don't know. Sometimes we can feel selfish because feel like they're not your kids, and why should they get some? I can just imagine some of the chaos that can be going on right now on both of those. You know what I mean? But because you didn't know this wasn't true. You're not my brother, not my sister. Oh, he leaves me money. That should be my money. You know what I mean? It can be a lot. Again, depending on the level of parental values that they've put into these kids. So I hope that at the end of the day, the way Jerry said his final thoughts, I hope that he at least tried to instill or make sure that those values were instilled in his children, both illegitimate or legitimate, whether, he sends them to better schools, maybe counseling, you know what I mean? Or something. I don't know. Prayer even works.
Yeah. Yeah.
You leave it or not. You know what I mean? So I just hope that, the mentality he had when he came up with his final words was still something that he was able to impart in his children's lives, because that would be the only thing that would help them have some normalcy after that whole debacle.
Exactly. Leonard, talk to me, man. Did you see the video, Leonard? Leonard, you there?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, Jerry Springer,
No, I didn't.
Gathering from what
didn't even know anything about it until you mentioned it.
Yeah. He had have his regular kids with his wife, but he had a couple of outside kids about a black young lady, and he wasn't really a part of their life at all. And what he did when he read his will, and I wish everybody would look at the video. I may even try to pull it up and play it before the broadcast goes off.
You know what? A lot of people don't have to look at no video. We got family members just like that.
Exactly. But what he did, he left his biological children nothing, because, and I'm speculating here, I'm on mine. They had the blessing of having all the stuff that he had while he was here, but the other side got nothing, because the wife said she was going to expose him and different things if it get out. But he had 2 kids by this young lady, and so he left her, his quote unquote illegitimate kids, everything, because and he was very apologetic. He was very apologetic in his delivery of how he did it. What do you think? And you know how people could be at funerals, brother. We go to funerals, man. You sometimes you see some of the biggest fights you ever seen at a funeral, man. You're trying to lay somebody to rest, and a fight to break out. Now, what do you think? What do you think their truth is? These children's truth. They possibly don't even know each other. Now they have to live with the reality that you're my brother, you're my sister, and my dad left us nothing. We live with him every day, but he left you everything. That could be a tough truth there, brother. How do you think they exist in that truth?
saying, you know, to me, it is what it is. What Jerry did, he did because that's what he chose and that's what he wanted. And now you got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's up to you to deal with it in a responsible way.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody wants to impose themselves on this situation.
Mm-hmm.
There are some kids who know their daddy is, and they know they better not go over there fooling with him. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody dealing with something, but you're going to keep living. Just because you don't found out something new. If it's an adjustment necessary, you make it. But a lot of times, they ain't even no adjustment necessary.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about me is that, I'm never really in that type of mood to do anything like that. However, if you run up, you can get jumped on.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to do. I don't care how you think what you owed or what you entitled to. Or what happened. What we're going to deal with is this moment.
So the biological children, the biological children have no right to go over talk to the illegitimate children about anything that was left.
If they want to, they can.
But
that's their business.
But
and it don't even have to be right, and it don't have to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna end up the way it's gonna end up. You can handle it like a decent individual, or you can behave like an animal. But there will be a response and a consequence for your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, ain't nobody got a right to take their anger out on nobody, but you can.
Mm-hmm.
And you can suffer the consequence.
Wow.
That's what it's about. The consequence. Whatever you feel you big and bad enough to do it.
What do you think?
And
what do you think?
Come right after you finish doing what you're doing.
What do you think it was like? And I know, you know, it's speculate at this point. It's speculation.
Yeah.
But what do you think it was like for Jerry to have to live in the truth that he couldn't go over there, or thought that he couldn't go over there and be a part of his children's lives? What was that reality like? What was that truth like for him, having to deal with that to the point that he left everything to them?
You just asked that question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I never would think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would never try to think for Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry did what he had to do and how he felt, why he did it, and that's his business.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask me what I would do,
mm-hmm.
but it's not for me to judge what Jerry did or why he did it.
I don't necessarily think that I'm trying to, you know, think outside of the box, if you would, and try to put myself in a situation. How would you feel? How did he feel? What did he have to go through? How did that tug at him, knowing that he have not one but two children by this young lady, but his wife is saying that if you do, I'm going to expose you, I'm going to destroy you, and now he felt in prison to the point where he can't even go. He feels as though that he can't even go over there and deal with his children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, that would hurt. That would be hurtful to me, brother. That would be hurtful.
I don't know Jerry that well. We wasn't friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go to someone else because I don't think for other people.
Yeah.
And I don't never impose myself on them because that's them. Mm-hmm. That's unique. That's genuine to them.
It's still.
And I can't impose myself upon that.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. But at the same time, I'm still gonna say, man, you know, that for me, and you dealing with the way you said it, for me, it would be true. It would be terrible, terrible, huh?
You said there's a video, right?
Yeah, there's a video. Mm-hmm.
And in that video, he told you, right?
He said what he said. He said what he said.
Okay, then that's what.
Mm-hmm. But was everything touched? And emotionally, he said what he said. Yeah, say it again.
From your point of view.
Yeah.
But it's Jerry's business.
Mm-hmm.
It's his point of view.
It's more than Jerry's business, brother. It's more than Jerry's business. It's children's business as well. He got a few kids that have to deal with the reality of what happened and what did not happen, and so they have to live with that. And that's hold on, Leonard. And that's Leonard. Hold on for a second, brother. That's what I'm saying. Is their reality as well, and they have to live in this truth of what happened, what did not happen. He's gone. It's over with him. Yeah. He's gone.
Have you met them?
No, that's not my point, brother. Listen to my point. He's gone. He's gone. He don't have to deal with it anymore. But now they have to live with it because now they know what the reality of the situation is. That they're living in their truth. And to say that we can't say that we're going to do this or that's his problem, that's his issue. No, now it's their issue because now they know that their dad was possible, quote unquote, wasn't the dad that I thought you was. I didn't think that you would go. Hold on. I didn't think that you would go out here. I didn't think that you would go out here and lay down with somebody else outside of my mother, and make these children. And not only that, turn your back on these children because now I'm looking at my mama. Mama, you wouldn't even let him be a part of his children's lives. There's a lot tied into this thing, man.
And that probably won't. That may not be how they feel.
It may not be.
See, that's what about the truth. Did you just make that up?
I made it up from where I'm looking from my standpoint, and like I said, that's the way I deal with it. And so that is quote unquote. Let's deal with it. If we're gonna deal with it like that, let's deal with it like that. That is my truth. Now, how could you tell me my truth is wrong? How can you say that my truth is? Hold on, Leonard. How could you say that my truth is wrong?
Because he heard his kids say nothing. You don't get to.
That's my truth. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about my truth.
Right. That's your truth.
Okay, there you go.
It's not there.
Let me go to Toya with a T. Good job, Leonard. Toya with a T. What's on your heart, sis? Toya?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not sure exactly what was transpiring, but I kind of get it, right, King? How someone else is going to feel. But just like we pick apart every other story, this is from my point of view. You know, the part that we're trying to rationalize is how can a man, you know, especially one in Jerry's position, have some outside kids and, you know, feel the need to not be in their life, but then at the end give them money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think, you know, just from, let's just say this European culture that we've been taught to be with one man, one child, not to have outside kids, that's not along with the lines that we say we're supposed to be doing over here. I think that's the part, right? No, you're not supposed to be with kids. First of all, you're not supposed to be outside having enough kids. And then when you do, you're Jerry Springer. You're in the spotlight. You're that person where we expect to be, I think it's the word, perfect.
Wow.
Jerry Springer.
Wow.
We expect you to be perfect. No, you can't be out here gallivanting like a regular human, like a regular man, making kids on the side. No, even though we know your show is all about the exact opposite, we still expect you to be perfect. What, you mean to tell me you got kids on the outside, but don't most people with money got kids on the outside? But most people, let it hit something on the head. Hey, you ain't got to have money. Most of your grandpas, great uncles, brothers and cousins came around like that. You know what I mean? So why we got to be different, Jerry Springer? We still be talking about the president of Marilyn Monroe. Why is we acting like Jerry Springer having some kids? And that's not a true story. I'm just saying, I looked it up on the internet. It says it's not true. But still, we're in the, this is true. This is what they said happened. How can you do that? And the fact of the matter is, Jerry is human like anybody else. People got stuff to hide. Some of this stuff out here, listen, people killing about kids. Y'all remember Red Caruth?
Yeah. Yep. I remember.
People killing about these outside kids and oh, you're gonna destroy my family. Oh, you know, I'm so weak and caught up in this spell. I'm not gonna get all of the money. You know, oh, I'm gonna bribe you. Oh, you're Jerry Springer. You think you're gonna humiliate me? Your wife who did nothing but sit up here, collect your money, and spend it all. I'll tell you, I'll destroy baby home. Are you kidding me? I mean, yo, this is the well. This is, and Jerry Springer, sure, it's not a perfect person in the position to be like, oh no, I would never see that. I mean, Jerry, you should absolutely saw that coming. You understand what I'm saying? But again, the same way that we're having these conversations here, and we all don't have the same feelings and the same outlook. Some of Jerry kids can feel like how Leonard feel. Jerry wives can feel like how Leonard feel. Ain't nobody care nothing about the kids. I shared a TikTok with his man brought his child home after 11 years and thought that the wife was going to take care of him, and come to find out, the wife was like, I'm not taking care of that baby. Oh, wait a minute. You had a baby on me. Didn't say nothing about it then. Hid it for 11 years, and they going to come back talking about take care of it. And he wasn't no talk show host. No senator.
Yeah.
And he had to go. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a culture and a way of life that I think that we're trying to understand. No money, whether you're Jerry Springer or not. So you're having kids out of wedlock, hiding them, lying about them, or not playing your role. And then at the end of the day, when you die, you think that money is gonna do something. You know what I mean? And I think for me, that's it. It's not about your money. What did these kids learn? What did they go through without having a dad? Did they have that? You know what I'm saying? There's so much more to the story other than just being left 50% of this man's legacy. But you were taunted for years when you went to go to school. They teased you and called you a bastard because you didn't have a dad. You know what I'm saying? All the things that go with potentially knowing that's your father and not being your father, some of those things money can't replace. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the kids are not speaking out because it was a hoax. But why would you want to be in the front of millions of people and people asking you, oh, so why didn't your daddy want you? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, like the hate that can come with the illegitimate kids behind a topic like this, and people are cruel. You know what I mean? So again, I think that when we hear these kind of stories, first of all, for the specific, I guess, our star to be perfect, because they're not. But I think too, this is definitely a time to where we should understand that this is an intimate moment from someone's kid, and should understand that it's going to be some dysfunction, and whatever dysfunction, if it's not welcoming, try to make sure that all of these children are back to being a family. If it's not that, it's some more dysfunction. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your conversation, your input. Our topic today is what is the truth? What is the truth? But right now we're talking about the situation that happened with Jerry Springer. Married man, have kids, stepped out on his wife a couple of times, same lady, and had 2 illegitimate kids by an African-American lady. He, in his passing, when he passed, God rest the dead, when he passed on, he read his will out, and he was very apologetic to his illegitimate children because he was never able to be a part of their lives. And he left them everything. Is that enough? Too little, too late? What do you say? What is the truth in this situation? Left them everything.
That's right.
Yes.
Hey, they on the internet, it is saying that wasn't a real video. It was stolen or used from a script he was reading. So, once again, the internet done pulled a trick. So, it would probably be good to not use that as that exact scenario, but still at the same time use a scenario, because it does happen, and it is true that it does happen in certain situations. But it probably would be wise to just take it away from that viral video, because we don't. I wouldn't want to just keep beating on using that as an example, and it's not true.
Okay. Now who said that it wasn't true? Well, what happened?
Twitter. It came out on Twitter, and then Twitter came back and said that it wasn't true.
Okay. Yeah, because the video.
So, I mean, it's supposedly true, but the situation does happen. Just not that situation might not be true.
Okay. We can even go back, man. We don't even have to truth of the matter. We won't even have to deal with Jerry. We could go back to the forefathers of this country. How many of our quote unquote forefathers had children, illegitimate children, with the quote unquote slaves that they owned? Certainly not to the point where they would, see that, okay, you're my child, you can come live in my house. You're my child, come live in my house. You're part of my family. You get your behind out there with your mama. And when it comes time to go in that field, you can be in that field, or whatever the case. And so it's a lot of different scenarios that we could use. We, like I say, omitting Jerry, we could go back to the our forefathers, and look at how they interacted to the point, man. And oh man, I don't know how deep I want to go with this thing, but buck breaking and different things of that nature, man. To me, that's inhumane for one man to say they're gonna break another man and go up in his backside. And
well, you got Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. Yeah. That situation was true and very out, very much out in the open public.
Yeah.
That we actually went through that with the family members. You know what I'm saying? The legitimate children and the illegitimate children. we experienced everything they experienced in real time with them because it was out in the public. So yeah, once again, there are major situations of scenarios that have happened that really justify this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Badger just said he just seen the whole will. What do you have, Badger?
Wow.
What did it say?
Y'all haven't watched it?
No, Badger, we asking you, brother. What did it say?
Oh man, he left everything but one house to those kids.
Mm-hmm.
His wife constantly threatened to publicize everything. And he said he was a coward for not standing up for it and staying out of those kids' lives.
Wow. Okay. But see, and my thing is, I don't mean to cut y'all, Badger, but my thing is this right here. Rico said he went on Twitter and it said that is not true. Said, so what are you looking at? Are you looking at the video that we was talking about, or are you looking at something different?
I looked at the
Multiple
actual
sources says it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple sources, not just Twitter. Multiple.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If they faked it, then that is there's no way that's AI.
You don't think so?
That's really hard for me to believe.
And
No,
see,
they didn't say it was AI, Badger. They said that it was actually a script he was reading from like 2020. Like how some people do audition videos.
mm-hmm.
So they say it was actually a script. It will probably come out before the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said it was actually a script, and somebody found that video and put it up there and made it seem like it was real.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And Michael on TikTok said Jerry basically apologized for his life being weak. I don't know about that, brother. And the phone, Michael called in. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Tell us what you think. And I really want to know. And I'm gonna dig into this thing, man. When we get finished. Hold on, Badger. I'm gonna dig into this thing, man, because I really want to know whether or not there's some legitimacy in what that was. His will. What does his will look like? What does his will look like? Is there any truth as to who he left what to? Is there even any truth to the fact that he had these children? See, now y'all got my wheel spinning. Y'all got my wheel spinning right now. But let me go. Tucson, go ahead, brother. I see you. Can't hear you. Tucson. Can't hear you.
I was sorry. Y'all look at my comment. Y'all also on the thing. Look at my comment. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Okay. So now we're in the confession booth.
Yes, sir.
All right. If this was true, I kind of would think that Jerry finally did the right thing. Okay. If you, sister, girl, love you to death, tell me that's either you. Well, let me say it like this: if it's either me or your children, I'm gonna put you out that day, or I'm gonna leave. Period. That's what I'm gonna do. Matter of fact, let me just throw this out here for free. That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
You heard what I said?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, that's why I said, wow. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
For real. He telling you something that I'm just running off at the mouth. Because these children didn't ask. If this was true, I would commend them and live with the truth. But see, I guess that would make it a pattern for some of these fellas out here walking around like they got it all together and have lived two lives.
Wow.
And never came clean. They in the pulpit, and they in the White House, and they're in the mayor's house, the governor's house. They these movie stars and these people that we look up to. They
Mhm.
look like me. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
But if I don't know, I must expose myself. You're not going to expose me, sister girl.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
expose me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna look after the children. I would think when y'all was having this conversation, I would think that that's just me. What I would put myself in Jerry Springer's shoes.
Mhm.
I would know my kids from the time they born to the time I died, evidently,
Mhm. Mhm.
because he knew where they were and how to get them their money.
Mhm.
Talking about Jerry Springer had enough money to see that woman every day, whether his wife liked it or not.
Wow.
If you want to know the truth, if you want to know a truth,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can do anything you want to do.
It sounds like it rubbed you a little bit there too. So it sounds like
It
it
rubbed
rubbed you.
it rubbed me really bad because I know some women and men are neglecting their children behind some other woman or man. You crazy as all get out. Get out of here. I'm sorry. That's your choice.
Yes,
That's
sir.
your choice.
Mhm. Mhm.
But you got to come clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I would think if I was in there, if I was in Jerry Springer's shoes, I
Mhm.
mean, just
Or
since
or
we
or or someone
on
like
my
Jerry
own
Springer.
shoes, let
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
myself in my own shoes.
Mhm.
That I'm gonna make sure that my children know me. Period.
Mhm.
I don't care if they're purple,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
and especially, you know, matter of fact, I think that he did pretty good. I didn't like Rico. I didn't like Jerry Springer because all that foolishness on TV. But he, his points he made at the end of the show made me think that he was a different type of guy. That he was performing on the show,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he had a life, and
Mhm.
he was a thinker. So I
Mhm.
would think, so I guess they're gonna put
Oh
you.
Lord.
Lord have mercy. See, boy, I tell you what, this thing, y'all have rubbed me wrong because you know what. So we say the truth, okay?
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw out some truth this morning.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I guess I did. If you didn't get it, I
Mhm.
threw it out there because I'm not gonna let no nappy head. Well, I can't say. My mama will say that's. I sounded like my mama. No
Mhm.
woman
Mhm.
tell me that you better not bring that child here. The day he come here, I'm gone. You know what I did? I
Mhm.
said, you finna leave.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah.
This is actually a factual story that I'm telling. You
Mm.
think I'm just running off at the mouth?
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna get off the screen and go on silence. Y'all have y'all conversation because I'm upset.
I see you're a little disturbed over there. You're a little disturbed over there, brother. Zamari, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
Oh, nothing. I'm just trying to catch up on what y'all are doing. I'm trying to do these modules, and I just got the kids out the door all at the same time and listening to you. So my brain is really distracted right now.
What do you think a situation and see if Jerry Springer's situation is real or factual or none, whatever the case, that type situation, what do you think should have happened in that type of situation?
I mean, I'm not even going to say the man's name and put him in the middle of this, okay? Because he's done passed away. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to disrespect the dead. But I will say, in a hypothetical situation such as what is being discussed, grow a pair, man.
Mm.
That's all I got to say to that. Grow a pair. And don't let anybody tell you that you can or cannot see your children. If you are in a situation, regardless of your status, where you have illegitimate children with a mistress, grow a pair.
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to make you or break you. Either way, doesn't matter if you're famous or otherwise. you still have a responsibility there that you have to take care of. And it's going to make or break something, whether you have status or not.
Mm-hmm.
So why does it matter? And a lot of these famous people, let's say it is someone famous, all right? A lot of these famous people, they come out of the woodwork and you find out that they do have children by another woman or women. And it does not, in the media, it might seem like it sinks their career a little bit, but otherwise, not really.
Mm-hmm.
They're still making movies. They're still out there talking their political points. They're still doing them. It doesn't really affect them any way, any type of way, except for within the confines of whatever relationship they have with their current spouse, if they are, which most of the time they're married,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever other children they had prior to that, or in between that, or whatever, right? So grow a pair, man, and step
Wow.
up. And if you are in that kind of relationship with anybody who is telling you that you can't say anything about this or I will destroy you, you can't see them, you can't talk to them, you can't feed them, you can't clothe them, you can't give them anything, get to stepping.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to
Mm-hmm.
move on, because any spouse who would tell you something like that because they're feeling some kind of way, some kind of pain because of your mess up, that's wrong, because now you're punishing those kids. You're
Mm-hmm.
punishing those kids from having that mother or that father or whatever. That's not right. Is it hurtful? Sure, absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say I would be a perfect saint about it. But at the same time, my husband has a responsibility outside of this. He helped create those kids. He better take care of them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Paul said, public citizen said, did Jerry do anything useful to our society, or did he just exploit marginalized people? Leonard, what do you say to that? Will it come to you next?
Well, I admire Jerry Springer for a lot of the things that he has done, especially for the success of that show. And all that is exploitation. That is the whole purpose. It wasn't a veiled purpose or anything. That's what it was about, exploiting other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that very well, had a very successful show. And it's obviously that many people enjoyed him
Mm-hmm.
because talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever it is, it was. Some of those shows we know are scripted and things of that nature. I've seen actors in the show in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is what it is. It was very successful. And I don't try to make something out.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very popular gospel show. I also remember some of his other projects that he did, but like I said, then he's just a man doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
That's his life.
Mm-hmm.
And all he can do is what he wants to do. All that other stuff, whatever his relationships were or whatever, guess what? Me and my wife were talking about it. Y'all act like that ain't normal.
Wow. Yeah. And that's why
we have this situation
mm-hmm.
too much
Mm-hmm.
for us to be acting as if this is so much beyond what we would expect.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it comes from what you believe. If you're the person that idolizes the person because you see them on TV, or you think that somebody better or should be better because of their status or the money they got, that's more so a evidence of an internal issue that you have.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to impose on other people's uniqueness like that. So
Mm-hmm.
his story is his story, good or bad, whether you like it or not. What would you have done? Is the only thing that you can really be truthful about. It's amazing we're supposed to be talking about truth, but everybody made up the story that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Donald said, because Donald stuck to what he knows about him and an actual situation. Like I said, I know several people with the same situation.
Leonard, I said
That's why
something
I guess
earlier. Leonard, I
not as
said
shocking to me.
Leonard, I said something earlier about the forefathers and how they were going to the cabins, the slave cabins at night, and impregnate a lot of the slaves, or even as sick as it is, man, the buck breaking situation. How they would it's so many different levels to this thing, so many different layers to this thing, man. That and to your point,
But,
it has been happening. It has been happening.
and also, just for reference, because I know we've spoken this before. I don't mix the two, and I'm not sure how this relates to slavery or anything that way.
Talk about the situation, brother. The situation of illegitimate children.
I must have missed something.
No.
You can move on.
No, we talk about illegitimate children and how that part of what you said has been going on for a long time. You said it's not new, and I made the point that it's been going on all the way back from the slavery times.
Well, but
dealing with the illegitimate children
has nothing to do with slavery at all, or this
it has everything
that brought related to buck breaking and all that type of thing.
It has everything to do with the system that you was talking about with the illegitimate children. That's the connection that I'm making with it, brother. Let me go to Willa.
Okay.
Hey, Raheem. Good morning. Good morning, Morning Glow. Good morning.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
What's on this heart? What's on your heart about this situation that we're talking about that happened with the illegitimate children? And then we're gonna get back to our topic of the day. We're gonna come right back to you with the topic of the day.
Well, one thing I did agree that Leonard said, it's normal. Unfortunately, it is. And I'm not being a male basher or even a woman basher, because it takes a woman to have those illegitimate children for whatever reason. But you know what I wanted to focus on the most was the status of Jerry Springer. See, when you get in that limelight, basketball player, football player, all of them, actors, actresses, you'll find that same story that's hidden. See, his skeleton, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But even if it is true, you'll find a lot of those skeletons in their closet if it was open. See, some people are coming out with it, like Tucson. He was brave enough to say, hey, ain't nobody going to, because I'm going to tell my own story.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in this world, that's just how I don't understand why they don't do, when you get in that lifeline, that category, that your mindset changes, but it doesn't. You just like thing makes you different than me is you got more money than me. You're no more different. You're a man. You can't change the weather. You can't do. So what I'm actually saying is that what we're discussing is just another man doing his thing, another woman allowing it to happen.
It's your thing.
Because
do what you want to do.
When my daddy died, my daddy said, but before he died, he gonna tell me I got 19 kids. I said, what? I only knew of 5 of them. My 4 sisters, my 3 sisters, and another young man that he had adopted from some other problem and issue. So when he told me that 19 kids, and then he invited one of them over to meet me, I was a little out. I'm like, man, why would you do that? I say, that was you and mama's problem, but you deprived me of knowing my siblings. You know what I'm saying? So, Dad, you wrong for that. And I don't know why you think it's time to confess, because what's going to change now? You see, that was a real situation. My dad said he got 19 kids. Come on now.
Wow.
But that's what's on my heart. That's what I wanted to share. And then we can probably go in many, 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 many families. We'll find that same scenario right here.
Yeah.
And that's what's on my heart.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, you have a real good, very close friend of yours, Willa, and they come to you. They say, Willa, I've been watching you. You look like you got your life together. You like you got it together. Me, I've been walking around in this dark room forever. bumping into walls and tripping over furnitures and all kind of stuff, man, because I don't have it together. I really don't have it together. So I need to ask you this question. I need you to tell me, Willow, what is the truth? In this thing called life, what is the truth? What do you say to that? What do you say to your friend?
Well, the first thing that I would say, Raheem, is that you're missing one link in your chain of life. And that is you don't have a spiritual relationship with God. That's the main one that you're missing. Because you have to have a spiritual life in a spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
And I would explain to them what makes the difference between being spiritual and walking in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that life that you're living is living in a housing. It's a housing which is your physical body. That one day is going to dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
And that real spirit that's within you is going to live on. So I would tell them about how having God in my life helps me to change those thoughts. He changes those things in my life because I have a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I myself can admit you got to be honest to you. If you're not honest to nobody else, you've got to be honest with you because that's when the change starts. When you can be transparent. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care what it is. Clear your conscience, your mind, because it eats you up. What's
Mm-hmm.
bothering you? And then I will reach for them and ask, what's really going on?
Mm-hmm.
Because people are going on with them right here. They just be too embarrassed to say something. The enemy say, oh, you that's a shameful thing to say. Don't say it. Lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it. What
Mm-hmm.
you need to know about me. What you want to know.
Wow.
Because you can't judge me. Look at the mirror at yourself. What's going
better
on with
tell
you? So nobody could judge nobody, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Let's keep it real. And that's what's on my heart, Raheem.
Good deal. Toya with a T, do you think a lot of people are comfortable with living their lie instead of having to deal with the reality of the truth?
Of course, some of us are. Life is really what we make it, right? The truth and the way you see things is the only thing that matters in a society that, supposedly sets up the way things supposed to go. When I say the way things supposed to go, I'm saying like supposed to get married, supposed to work, get a house. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain structure that society says is supposed to go. And when it comes to you can only believe what lie or what truth you tell. So if you feel like not achieving that extra goal, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like leaving on the street, that's your truth, that's your reality. Oh yeah, I want to live off the bread. What I mean? It's nothing no one else can do to change that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So whatever lie or you tell yourself is what you're going to live in. And that's for each and every one of us. It doesn't matter what anybody in society say. You can go to jail. It don't make no difference. If you still got a mindset that this is just, what you got, this is what you're supposed to do, just let me tell you, it's going to be cool with you. It's those of us that know more that have an issue
Mm-hmm.
because of our truth. You know what I'm saying? Because our truth is, no, life is more than that. Life is about structure. Life is about having kids, making sure that they're educated, making sure I'm educated, making sure that, I look at me, I'm a good role model. That's your truth. And that's normally the truth good. But there are a lot of people who lie to themselves and say that anything outside of what we just named is life.
Yeah. Wow.
To deny kids is life.
Mm-hmm.
To not take care of them, not marry a woman is life. To disrespect their parents or not, like whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's their truth. No, until, like me, right? Like all of us, until you have that interaction for some being higher than you to show you different, 9 times out of 10, the lies you tell yourself is what you're going to believe in. The truth that you tell yourself or you allow yourself to believe, the same goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to live. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we all live in our own lives and our truths.
Yeah.
But how do you determine which one is the truth, or the real truth. We're gonna say the real truth. You understand what I'm saying?
Toya, the real truth. That's powerful, and I love that. The real truth. How painful can it be?
It's very painful because the real truth, you know, it involves death.
Mm-hmm.
The real truth involves turning other cheeks sometimes, no retaliation. I mean, like the real truth.
Mm-hmm.
In order to stop half the things that we go through in life, sometimes the requirement is to do the exact opposite of what we already did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to do it like that, and it would have turned out differently. The time it knows that. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes it only takes when you involve stealing, killing, and destroying. I mean, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But we don't acknowledge that truth, not our own truth. And this is how we get caught up. But you know what the funny part is? That's the fun part about life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The dominion, the choice. Right? No, I'm not a spirit where I just gotta flow freely. No, I got choice in this flesh. I get to feel every ounce of everything I do on a daily basis. That is my truth. You know what I'm saying? That is everybody's truth at the same time. But we all got our different versions of it. But at the end of the day, your real truth and my real truth might be different. But the ultimate truth, y'all know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna serve something that didn't create you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The truth is he created you, but your truth might not even line up with that. So what is the real truth? I mean, this gets tricky. We ain't even got the time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. Badger, what's on your heart now? How have you recognized or realized your truth? Or have you yet?
Walking my journey.
Mm-hmm.
The road I was called to walk. And that's for
Mm-hmm.
me. I don't really share my personal truth.
Mm-hmm.
I share my life story, but that's my deeper belief is my own.
Mm.
It's mine, not yours, not anybody else's. My relationship with spirit is mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Has living in your truth, has it always been easy, or was there a traumatic moment in there, or troubling time in that as well?
Well, that's a loaded one. I like it. I get once again that boils down to perception. For me, I guess you could say yes and no. Because in the moment, I might be frustrated or upset and things, but I have a tendency to sit and think, weigh it,
Mm-hmm.
give thanks for direction. So I learned a lot of how to handle that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and had a lot of teachings passed on to me. So it's just the best I can do is be the best human I can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Have you always
that's
been
what
that?
I still don't think I'm that. I
Mm.
have horrible self-worth issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, However, I acknowledge that if I let it control me, I'm going to affect those that are around me. So I just
Mm-hmm.
combat that stuff every day, nonstop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to have your input. What is the truth? What is the truth? Is your truth my truth? Do we share in the same truths, or do we have different truths? And how many truths are there? How many actual truths are there? TikTok, give us a call as well. We see you over there, man. I appreciate the support. Y'all give me some of them hearts and love and all the stuff y'all be sharing. Work it out for me. Work it out for me. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Rico, coming to you next.
So I think that probably the truth is we can all come clean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I find that confession is, you know how it is, Willa. Confession good for the soul. It sure make me feel better. I'm not trapped. Show
Mm-hmm.
what the truth shall make you free.
Come on.
I'm free as a bird. You can't expose me for nothing. Matter of fact, my life is I guess I would almost say that I'm transparent. I try to be as much as I possibly can. I don't tell all my business. So can't, because people can't handle it.
Lord
So,
Jesus.
I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
at least I'm truthful with me and with you too.
Mhm.
Ain't no problem. I don't. You look. You see any wings back there?
No, I don't see any, brother.
No,
I don't see any.
Ain't none.
Why your volume skipping a little bit?
Ain't no telling, man. Ain't no
Mhm.
telling. I'm gonna have to fix that.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you know, we all need to come clean, though, right? Really, because
Mhm.
we live in this. We allow people to. We think that people think about us, that we live
Mm.
in this this dream world, that we got it all
Mhm.
together when we don't have it together, man. The truth is,
Yeah.
I mean, whether this story by Jerry is true, but you're a Jerry yourself. You might not have had no illegitimate children, but you got an illegitimate life somewhere.
Mhm. Yeah.
You got something
Yeah.
that you're keeping. You know, how many of us is taking something to the grave? That's the truth.
All of us.
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be found out. Maybe it might not. Maybe not. Maybe not. But they're gonna put something out there on you when you give up the ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some folks, the preacher gonna try to put you in heaven and you will bust hell wide open. That's true.
Mm-hmm. He was a good man.
Yeah.
Well,
Right. Yeah.
when?
Ask them children that he didn't take care of.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
or the woman
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, we talk so highly of. You know, I listened to some of the elderly ladies that you don't know what I've been through
Mm-hmm.
until they tell their story, and you're like, "Can I say something?" People are so surprised when you tell them about your young life.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it helps somebody when they see you from where you were to where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, look, you know, it takes a lot to be a Willa.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You'd be surprised how much it took for God to pour into her what she got going on, and it's real.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You can't just
Exactly.
get that drinking Kool-Aid and eating cake.
Hey, fix that situation with your sound, man. It's popping. It's like you skipping it in and out. Let me go to Rico and I'm gonna come right back to you. Rico, talk to me, brother. Willa, coming to you next.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm like what Toya said earlier, man. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me what the truth is, I need to really know what the truth about what.
Mm-hmm.
That's that question. But man, it's one thing I do know. Like I said, I ain't gonna say everybody don't want to die. Because if everybody didn't want to die, then you wouldn't have so many people out here living so reckless, like they're trying to get themselves killed or they're actually killing themselves. So I ain't gonna say that everybody don't want to die. That might not be a truth.
Mm-hmm.
Some people ready to leave here. They sick of this place.
Mm-hmm.
Or for me to comprehend, that wouldn't be my truth, but the truth, absolute truth is that I can't say that everybody feels the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that I would assume that every human being wants to be comfortable, be happy, or feel good as much as possible by the means that makes them comfortable, happy, or feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do something bad that might make you ashamed, that ain't a good feeling. Now you might do something that's low down and dirty. You ain't ashamed of it because you selfish and you just want to accomplish your agenda, your goal. You don't have a conscience. Don't make you feel bad at all. You comfortable with doing people wrong and leaving people in bad situations, or actually benefiting while other people lose. No lose. But the only way you can benefit is if they lose. Oh well, sorry for them. Dog eat dog world. You know, that is the truth. That some people want to be comfortable and be happy, want to look good. It's 24/7, man. They don't want nobody to think they ever did anything wrong. They'll lie through their teeth. We don't do this. We don't do that. That's unacceptable. I hope they're doing it. But you know, we're talking about, and in some cases, you have fathers that don't want them by certain women, or they don't want this. They accept these children because they don't want to lose or sacrifice the woman that they have, so they'll deny these children. Wow. Then you have some that do want to be involved with these children, but they still deny them because they put the woman that they don't want to lose above their responsibilities, denying the right of those children to have their fathers in their lives. Completely wrong. But then let's look at the other side of it. You are not the father.
Wow.
Man, you mean to tell me I've been taking care of this child for 12 years? Oh, man, why you lie? See, that's another situation, man, where people, why would a woman lie about who the father or who the potential fathers could possibly be? I mean, you know, if you don't want nobody to know you was getting down and popping it open like that, you weren't thinking about that, getting down and popping it open, but oh, it felt so good, all the different men, different sizes, different, you just name it, I just got it, and it felt better raw. I don't know who the daddy is. Girl, who the daddy? He the daddy, he the one, because he make the most money, he's the nicest. You're going to put it on whoever make you feel better. Then all of a sudden, 20 years later, you know, man, I mean, I'm transparent, man. I tell a lot of stuff on here, man. There's a situation right now where there's a 24, I'm going to say about 23, 24-year-old young man. Looks just like my boys. Up until his mama was 7 months pregnant, he was mine. But then all of a sudden we had a disagreement. She told me he ain't yours, you ain't got to worry about it. What, just that easy? So she was mad, you know what I'm saying, or whatever her reasoning was. But, you know, I left it alone. I couldn't do nothing but take her word for it. You know, mama's maybe, papa's maybe. I don't know what she's been doing when I ain't around.
Yeah.
She was from out of town. So here it is, about 3 or 4 years later, I bump into her. We started back messing around, and then all of a sudden she called me and said she want to come see me. I think we can get the get down on. Instead, she bring this little boy with her. Oh, man, what's your intention behind this? And I'm checking him out because I've still been wondering about this little boy. You done had me going for a whole lot of months preparing and telling people, you know, I got another child on the way. I'm looking at this boy. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And she's looking at me. Why you looking at him like that? I'm like, well, you know the situation. You know the truth of the situation. You know what's in the air. Well, you think he yours? He ain't yours. You ain't got to worry about it. I'm like, what? Well, what was the purpose of you bringing him down here? And I see you looking at me.
Yeah.
Looking back and forth at him. I mean, I see my boys in this dude. So time passed, man. Time passed. And then all of a sudden, man, in 1 week's time, I bumped into 3 different people that knew this young man. This was his senior year in high school. Now, it's been from 4 to 17. I ain't seen or heard from these people. I couldn't find them. Man, the dude that she was married to. And then I met 3 other people that were from their hometown, all within the same week. They knew this boy. I'm like, man, I've been looking for him all these years. I didn't even know his name. I've been looking for his mama. Now all of a sudden I'm meeting people that know it got to be something to this. And then I messed around and bumped into her. Made contact. Still ain't got no solution. She been avoiding me. She had him to block me. She blocked me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'd actually friended him. And I didn't put nothing out there. I didn't say nothing. You know, I just sat back and you know, let it be known that I exist. Hey, man, I've been seeing you when you came up here and played in your football game, man. That was a nice game you had the other night. You got a bright future. Boom, leave it at that. But her husband's cousin came back and was like, hey man, dude named Rico up in Anniston, man, you know what I'm saying, looking a little bit like somebody that I know you know.
Mm-hmm.
Son.
Yeah.
This ain't no on block. I can't find her again. I can't find him again. So the truth is being hidden from me. She know the truth, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. But the thing is, you know, people will, in order to preserve their image, they are not willing to sacrifice their image, take accept responsibility, because it would show that they're human.
Mm-hmm.
It would show that, hey man, you also maneuver and think and act on what makes you feel good instead of doing what's right. What's right is to be honest and tell the truth.
Exactly. Good deal. The phone lines are minutes before we get out of here. A little more than 30 minutes before we get out of here. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Let me go to Willow. Willow, you there?
Hey, Ryan, I'm here. I'm trying to get up the mute.
Willow, we're talking about what is the truth. What is the truth? And one of the realities of life that can't be avoided, regardless of who it is, how they live, good, bad, or a terrible person, whatever. One of the realities of life, one of the truths of life, is that everybody's gonna find their end. Everybody gonna have that opportunity where they get to lay down and look up at the ceiling. Well, they ain't gonna be looking, but facing the ceiling on their backs. And people gonna be walking by, looking at them, reminiscing, talking about how good or how bad they was, just having that last moment with them. Is that a reality? Is that the truth that a lot? That's the truth that a lot of people.
Sure,
Go ahead.
But Raheem, everybody know the truth. Oh, and one thing that reminds you of your truth when you look in the mirror. When you look in that mirror, ain't nobody looking at nobody else looking at you but you.
Yeah.
And you know they truth.
Mm-hmm.
Tucson said it wonderful. People can't handle the truth. Some. When you say people, that's some. Some people can. Some people can't. Because we're different. Some people don't want to know the truth. Some people want to hide from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It helps them to negate from their responsibility.
Yes.
Then some won't take the responsibility. So there are so many layers underneath that umbrella. We can just talk about it all day long. Because when it comes to us knowing the truth, you know the truth. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why even in our justice, it's not about the crime itself. It's about who's going to win the case.
Yeah.
It's about how they take the truth, manipulate it, and then who's going to win the case. That's the objective for the defender or the prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't, and then you're the individual who gets the result of their whatever case that they built in discovery. So Raheem, the truth, every individual on this radio show in this world know their truth. They're just not willing to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
See, sometimes if I can just step out of, like Rico said, there might be a lot who's so tired of this world that they're seeing things that are going on in this world, and they try to hide from it and get in a calm place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the kids are getting in the car now. So
okay.
I'm gonna just leave you with that. People just can't handle the truth.
Exactly.
And that's what's on my heart.
Good deal. Shanavia.
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Look, we rocking and rolling this morning. I can't complain.
There you go. Shanavia, one of your closest friends come up to you and they say, listen, Shanavia, I've been watching you, sis, and you seem to have everything together. You got it laid out right, man. You're doing it the right way. Me, I've been walking around in this dark room, bumping into walls, tripping over furniture, all kind of stuff, just getting bumped and bruised all up in this room, trying to figure it out. Shanavia, help me understand something. What is the truth that's going to turn the light in my life on so I don't have to sit here and stumble and fall no more? What is the truth? What do you say to that person, Shanavia?
Oh Lord, that's a. Oh, I actually got to think. That's a deep question because, and it's kind of like those loaded answers because I personally don't know what your truth is. That's
Mhm.
something that you have to discover and walk in for yourself, and that would honestly be the best answer that I can give because my truth is exactly that.
Mhm.
That's my truth. And if you try to mimic or walk in the same light, if you will, that I do, I can't guarantee that the way that it turned out for me, that everything is going to turn out the same way, that the same way for you. I mean, finding truth for yourself, that's a journey within itself. And you can only get that answer. Well, I won't say that you can only get that answer, but the main person that you need to consult with is not me, but God.
Mhm.
Because I can't give that to you. I can only walk in my truth and hope that some residue will fall on you.
Mhm.
But your walk has to be just that, your walk. I really don't know how to answer that question. It's I mean, it's not a one size fits all type
Mhm.
answer.
There's no cookie cutter.
So I really don't know.
Mhm. Yeah. There is no cookie for this particular question.
No, not at all.
Good deal. Good deal. Paul, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. Doing all right. So your question was, how do you know what? Can you say the question again? I got a little confused
Yeah.
because it went in different directions.
Okay. What is the truth in this thing called life? What is the truth? Your friend come to you, they say you have it together, man, and they really admire how your life is, but they're bumping it off the walls, or falling all over the place, just stumbling all over the place in this thing called life. So they ask you, Paul. They say, "What is the truth?" What do you tell them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like Rico and other people said, it's like specifically what area of your life you're talking about. I guess like just to bring it into news and stuff like that. I guess I would bring up what President Biden said last week when he was talking about white supremacy being the greatest threat to American security or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's true. It really is. But a lot of people would not acknowledge that, and they would say, you know, things look so different now. And I could understand that point of view too. So I think, you know, when somebody says, how do you figure out the truth? You have to listen to all sides and just try to see where the person's coming from. Because I know I've heard some people I've already talked to some people on that. You're crazy, you know, that you even think Biden's crazy and you guys are all crazy for saying this stuff. But I mean, if you dig deeper, it goes very deep in our society, our culture.
Mm-hmm.
So my truth is, I know all of us have a little piece of the truth. So none of us have the whole thing. So I'm gonna listen to everybody and make my own decision. So I'd try to keep an open mind.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Toussaint, coming back to you, brother. You got that phone situation right with me?
Yeah, man, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Much better, much better. There you go.
See, the truth is healthy for somebody behind you that might think worse or less of you.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But if you just tell the truth, everybody will feel better. I mean, it might take them a while to adjust. Who cares if you adjust to my life? Not me.
Toussaint, let me ask you this, and I love what you said.
Yes, sir.
What if you sit there and you had a conversation with the person and you tell them, quote unquote, the truth from your perspective, and then you find out that, man, that's not right at all. That's not right at all. How do you go back and clean it up? Because some people won't. Some people just won't.
Can't clean it up.
Yeah.
There are some things you can't clean up. It's just dirty.
Mm-hmm.
The past, some of us, honestly, we don't have a good past. Some, secretly, they don't have a good present. They just think they concealing it pretty good, lying to themselves. If a man think that he's something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. You ain't fooling nobody else. You're the one that got to look at yourself in the mirror and believe your lie. That's the worst kind of person in the world. They believe their lie. That's just me. Raheem. That's just me saying that if you have made up your lie and you believe your lie, oh, that mercy. Two men walk into the temple. That reminds me, Willa. Two men walking into the temple to pray. And one of them says, I'm so glad I'm not like him. You know, I pay my tithes and I do this and I do that and I'm not extortioner. And the other one walked in, he said, man, you know, Lord, forgive me. One's justified, the other one's just as worse as he was when he walked in there, bragging on himself. A lot of people like that. Publicans and Pharisees rather. They just look good on the outside. They walk holy. They have that holy demeanor. You ever saw somebody look holy?
Yeah.
Got churches full of them. They talk well. They use all of their adjectives and verbs and pronouns and big words, and they speak Greek. They speak in tongues, but don't speak to you. True.
Yeah, them big words. The big $5 words.
But when they go home and look at that person that they boast and brag about in the mirror, they shame. Now that's a sad life to live.
Yeah.
Justified before your own self. What's the truth? You know it would be healthy for all of us, just tell yourself the truth. And then along the way, when you find somebody out, you find somebody going in the path that you've already traveled, help them out. Tell them, look, I've been there, done that. You'd be better off.
Yeah.
You feel better about, not only do you help somebody else along the way, you feel better about yourself. Get over yourself. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, if we would just come clean and lay it out. Most people anyway.
Shh, they already know. Them knew about you.
I've been knowing that. I've been knowing that, man.
Fella come out and say, I just want to tell y'all something. I'm gay. Man, we already know you were gay, bro. Look at you. Man, please go ahead on.
Man, look.
Man, go ahead on with that mess. Man.
I ain't gonna say it, boy. You almost made me say something. Right? I ain't gonna say it because I almost said something. But anyway, the truth is, we can all. You don't have to be honest with everybody else. Just be honest with yourself. That's the good thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Captain Leonard, talk to me.
Two sides. Tell the truth. I like what he say, because it is, like I said, people think, this, that, and the other, like this whole notion, I'm coming out. Coming out of what? Because everybody knew.
Yeah.
I don't know what you coming out of, but everybody knew. This truth you think, blah, 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 some people, it's always their point of view. What frustrates my wife sometimes is you can ask me just about anything. If it really don't relate to me, I'm not. I say sure. For the very simple fact, I don't have to impose myself like that on other people and their lives and things of that. If you ask me something, I'll tell you. But what is the truth? The truth according to what?
Yeah.
You can't just say the truth. According to what? It has to relate to something. The truth is the sky is above you and the ground is beneath you. Next. Because we're pretty much inspection and observation. That would appear to be very true, wouldn't it? It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And if it's not, disprove it. But what we can't do is just make up lies and call them true.
Mm-hmm.
If a person says, you know what, I feel like a woman, sure. That's how you feel. I have no problem with that. You be standing here 6'3", looking like a right tight end for a professional football team. But if you feel like a woman, I'm okay with that, because that's how you feel. Now, if you tell me you are a woman, that's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I can prove you ain't no woman, but I can't prove you don't feel like one.
Yeah. That's good.
So if people, thought about things, as far, I bring Badger into the conversation because, he pretty much operates from an honest point of view, and he gets caught off guard when people say something, but their actions and their other comments don't seem to line up with that. And that's what makes it seem illogical. And that's what makes you go, hey, did I miss something?
Mm-hmm.
Or did someone just say something and then turn around and say the opposite thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we all Christians. It has nothing to do with being perfect.
None of us are.
People make that assumption. Like when I get on other people's case, you want to bash Christianity? What do you know about being a Christian? I love what Miss Willa said, because Miss Willa has a standard. And she can prove that over and over again, because the things that she says align up with her standard. She's not going to stray away from that to make you feel good or to go along with the narrative of the story.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to tell the truth the best that she knows it.
Yes.
Everybody don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you have people, even on when we're talking around, well, I didn't mean this, and I'm not going to never come back and tell you, try to clean something up. I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
What I look like candy coating it for you. You can tell me you don't understand what I said. But when you get to talking about what I meant, you don't mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Or how about the people that when you're talking to them say, well, you just said, I didn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
You said that. You made that up.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people who use those types of vices to just make mess up and add coals to the fire.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And if you got to lie and misrepresent to get your point across, you ain't nobody I want to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So people have to realize that. People, well, I'm sorry. You were sorry before you said what you said, and you've been sorry since I.
Oh, right there, Leonard. Hold right there. You making a left turn on us, brother. You're making a left turn. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Leonard said you were sorry when you said it. Sorry before you said it. You could be sorry out there. Came out your mouth. Ain't nothing changed. You're still so bad. What's on your heart, brother?
I think I got lost in the conversation. Where are we right now?
Well,
it's all over the place.
Yeah, well, we veered a little bit about the situation allegedly that happened to Jerry Springer, that alleged situation that happened with him. But now we're back on talking about what is the truth. What is the truth? And one of the truths that I said earlier is that one of the truths for everybody is that we're gonna have a moment of death. We all are going to have to meet our end. Do you think a lot of people are afraid of that truth?
Yeah. But you also have to remember different people have different versions of death as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some view it as just, leaving this body and going on to the next. Some view it as leaving this body and going on to heaven or hell. So there's, once again, different versions and different truths. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as fear, everyone has a fear.
Mm-hmm. What's your fear?
What's my fear?
Yes.
That's my own.
So you don't want to answer that question?
No, I don't answer that one. I don't want to give it power.
There you go. There you go. That's good. That's good.
So, and that's
Oh,
the. Go ahead.
oh, hold on for a minute. I see my mama here. I gotta see y'all. Good morning, baby. I want to give you a
Of
shout out
course.
because if I mess around and don't give you your shout out, I'm gonna hear about it in about 45 minutes. I'll hear about it. So good morning, mama. Love you. Glad you're here with us. Sorry about that, Badger. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking I need to send her an iron skillet for you. Anyway. Sorry.
I ain't fooling with you, Badger. Go ahead, finish your thought, man. I ain't fooling with you.
But no, see, that's the thing. Like, there's so many people out here that want to go, you have to believe what I believe because it is the only way to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And how close-minded is that? And at least from my perception, because if you study enough and get to know people all across the board and just listen, there's a lot of similarities across the board.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, when you first asked me the question about a person wanting to find, their light, their truth, like, what is the truth?
Mm-hmm.
I can't answer that for anybody,
Yeah.
but I'll do the best I can to provide you questions or a different way to look at things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
here's the Holy Bible. Here's the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Here's, some Buddhist teachings and different things like that. Because at the end of the day, your relationship with the source and what you decide that what an individual decides to call it is that. Now, if we want to get into a truth of what is evil and what is good, what is fear and what is love, that's a whole nother topic. Because most human beings that do their best to walk by the golden rule, because most human beings do, can agree. Pedophilia is not okay. Murder is not okay. Theft is not okay. So a lot of us can agree on some core values. And then the evil people have their belief of what they think is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
That's life.
Wow. That's good. That's good. 508. Excuse me. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Got about 15 minutes before we get out of here. I want to go to Zamari. Zamari, we talking about the truth. And I said that one of the absolute truths about life, about this thing called life, this journey, is that everybody's going to come into a place or point, a time where it's going to end. How afraid do you think most people are about that end?
I think they're terrified of it. I think it's a combination of things, right? They're terrified of that ending because of what that ending means, and maybe they don't feel like that they've accomplished that goal before that ending catches up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big one, right? But then the other one, of course, is the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what lies beyond after that, if anything. Yeah.
I don't know what's out there.
I think it is terrifying. I think anyone who says they're not afraid of that, you might not be afraid of dying, but I don't know. Everyone has been afraid of that at some point in their life or another. You come to a place of acceptance eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Where you accept that it's going to happen, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not afraid of it. I know people say that, right? I'm not afraid to die. No, you might not be. But at some point in your life, I bet you were.
Yeah, exactly. Navy, what do you say to that? Do you think most people are afraid of the period at the end of the sentence called life? Do you think most people are afraid of that?
Are most people afraid of what now? I'm sorry.
Death. Because that we're talking about the truth, and the truth is we all gonna have that day where the where this thing called life is gonna come to a point in time where there's gonna be a period at the end of that sentence, and there's gonna be nothing after it the way we know it now. So, do you think most people are afraid of that of death?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that if they are afraid, that is because they don't know what life or is there life after that. I mean, you know, I know what I grew up being taught. Other people somewhere along the line question that. Is there a life after death? Do we, you know, roll into a whole other life? Do we get to, you know, go up to the pearly gates and then have our names and all of that called out? Like, there's so much uncertainty. And then I think that's what is the fear behind death. But then you have some people that have been praying for death to knock on their doors for years, and
Wow.
maybe it will be a relief for them
Wow.
to finally have what they've been asking for. So again, it's a twofold question. Like, I can't give a definite answer, but that's what I got right now.
Yeah, good. That's good. That's good. Tucson, what did you say about that, man? The truth about life is it going to end? Do some people walk around in fear of that end?
It is what it is. Raheem, you're gonna have to go. I got a call.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Let me go to who else I got on my phone lines here. Let me see. Let me go. Leonard. Leonard, do you think most people are afraid of that end, that at the end of the sentence, death, if you will? Truth of the matter is gonna come to us all. Do you think some people are afraid of walk around? Do you think some people walk around in fear of that end?
Yes, you know, but like I say, ain't nobody getting out of here alive. So you can. I know people, man, and I hope I pass like some of my elders. They knew.
Yeah.
They was ready. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, I'm ready. Because I'm sure through with what's going on. That's why I have different perceptions, you know, when someone, such and such killed themselves. I have to learn that a lot of people consider that a very sad thing. I don't consider that way.
Mm-hmm.
It may be sad for us.
Yeah.
But it may be completely liberating them. And for whatever reason they made that choice, it was theirs to make.
Yeah.
Or like my mother. I am ready to leave here. And she left. My grandfather. You know what? I'm going to leave here after this 90th birthday party y'all give me. And he left. My granny, who I had never thought ever was sick, never seen her in the hospital, went in there one day and she's like, I am going to get my affairs in order and it's time to go. For some of us, it's transition. For some of you, it appears that it is the end. So I don't always, you know, believe that, you know, everybody feels the way I feel, and nor should they believe that about me. But you're definitely entitled to whatever it is or how you feel about something. But when it comes to the end, and you know, a lot of us, you see people like for instance, my wife, she going zip line. You want to go? No, I don't want to go zip line.
You afraid, brother?
I mean, that's just other ways I would be interested in killing myself as opposed to zip line. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, I don't, you know, when you just, you know, I want to go bungee jumping, ain't nothing I got to do, Raheem. But some people, they live life that way. So as long as they love it, you know what I'm saying? If they enjoy, I love to see you enjoy.
Yeah.
I hate to see somebody push somebody. You want to drink? No, I don't drink. Man, don't have one. I don't like that.
Man, you don't know what you missing. Yes, I do. I see you fall over every weekend.
And so that's what I'm trying to teach my younger son about, peers and following. So somebody can just come to you and just say something. Why don't we go rob a store? That easy. But look at the consequence of getting caught or getting killed in the process.
Exactly.
So it just depends on the person. I think Miss Navy will probably, because she's in that, about towards the end of life, how people accept it is a lot of times based on how they live. Some people are fine with the life that they have lived, but other people have so much regret that it's hard for them because they may have not atoned for the wrong that they've done. They may, like say, for instance, we always have this conversation in my family with my grandmother. She outlived there. Lots of folks that knew the truth, and then she got out of here without telling the truth.
Wow.
But she played it to I'll keep it to my grave.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's an oath to take. And some people stick to that, or them deathbed confessions. Or like my uncles when they were dying, and those of my family who are part of the clergy went to see them to see if they were ready or accept Christ. Even at the last moment, there was still a chance.
Exactly. Let me keep this thing going. We got 7 minutes. We got 7 minutes, so I'm gonna go around as fast as I can. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what do you say to that, brother? Do you think a lot of people in life, one of the truths, absolute truths of life, is we are going to find our end. We are gonna find our end. That point where we're no longer, we cease to exist in this on this realm. Rico, do you think a lot of people are walking around afraid of that ending, of that end, death, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of taking me back to something I said probably within the first hour that I spoke. That's one truth that we can't deny.
Yep.
But I can't say that everybody is finding enough joy in this experience to not want to leave here. I mean, I have heard of some, actually I watched a E60 on ESPN yesterday about this pitcher that had been going through all this traumatic depression, and everybody thought he had the world at the palm of his hands. Professional baseball player during COVID tried to kill himself. He shot himself in the head, and it didn't work.
Wow.
And he laid around in his house for 20 hours with a hole in his head, disfigured, one eye hanging out, debating whether or not he wanted to do it again to finish the job. That's when he finally decided to ask the question, do I want to live or do I want to die? He had a phone. He said he had the phone with 911 pre-dialed on it in one hand, and he had the gun in the other hand. And they played they actually played the 911 call, and then showed the camera footage. What they call the camera footage when the cops have to have it on?
Yeah, body cam.
Body cam.
Yeah.
Show the body cam footage, man. Disturbing. But after he attempted it and it was successful, he regretted it and said he wanted to live.
Wow.
So he had been fooling himself. He thought the truth was that he was ready to leave here, but he had to sit back 20 hours after the first attempt and after making this. I mean, he's blind now, destroying and disfiguring himself to actually say, you know what, man, I appreciate this experience. I just needed a little mental help.
Yeah.
But man, the thing is, it's true, man. I mean, some people, they might not look at life with the way we look at it because they might not have experienced a bunch of joy, or they experienced joy in a distant way. Maybe their joy was just being able to survive another day without being brutalized. I bring up that story about the woman in Detroit that did that to her children and had one child help her.
Yeah.
That one child had a tooth knocked out of her mom. And her aunt came by. Oh, what happened to your mouth? Don't you want to go to the dentist? But to stay comfortable and to survive in that dysfunctional environment that her mother created, she told her aunt, "No, I like my tooth like this. It make me look weak."
Wow.
I'm being 10 years old, walking around with your tooth knocked out. And then, you know what I'm saying, your mama sitting up there lying to cover her tracks and making you conform and accept this just so you can be comfortable in an uncomfortable environment.
Wow.
Can you imagine somebody asking you what the truth is when the common verbiage is fake it till you make it? You know, that's the environment we live in. The truth is that we live in an environment of the flesh that where people are givers or they're receivers.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, if you like to receive, you're probably gonna be scared of death. If you like to receive, you're probably gonna be quick to lie.
Yep.
If you love to receive, you're probably gonna be quick to stay on the down low.
Wow.
Because you don't want the truth to come out. The truth was so bad that you'll stop receiving your reward or your benefits that make you feel good or that make you feel better. So you're hiding your true self. You really love men.
Wow.
But you'd rather go ahead and marry a woman and have a first lady, this big family. Or maybe you don't even have to preach. Maybe you just, you know what I'm saying, have a family, get married again, have another family, and then wait and decide to change yourself to Caitlyn. I've been living a lie this whole time. I'm a woman on the inside.
Wow.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold up, Pops. So, I mean, you know, yeah, man, this flesh, man, you know, we to feel good, we'll actually conform and keep ourselves in an uncomfortable situation. We'll make ourselves comfortable.
Exactly. We're going to get out of here, Toussaint. Talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? If you can stop laughing over there, I'll see you.
Somebody gonna say, I'm in love with a movie.
Lord Jesus.
That's the truth. me and my dog been lovers for years. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be more serious than this. I'm sorry.
Lord.
This is the truth. Lord have mercy. This is the society that we live in. The truth is coming out. As a matter of fact, the pandemic has exposed plenty of people. These faithful, I'm in love with God folks ain't showed up in church since. The church is the only one still got the pandemic going on. The truth coming out.
Yes, sir.
Because this society is telling on itself. We're not good people. We're not as good as we say we are.
Yeah.
The truth is that, you know, it would be good to just tell the truth. Come clean. We all would feel better about you or me. You know, so you might help somebody if you just say what's true. What is the truth?
What is the truth? Absolutely.
All of this, all of what we're looking at is not actually as good as it appears to be.
That's good.
I'll leave it like that.
Yeah. We are about to get out of here. Gonna get out of here on time today, man. It's been a great broadcast. Willa, are you still with us? Well, I think she had to step away for a second.
I'm with us, man.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go to Rico. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
Hey, further, I want to tell you, man, I don't know if you were streaming on Facebook. I just tried to look, man, and the screen is black, so I don't know if your whole stream came through on Facebook. You know, check that out when we get off.
Okay. It's saying, let me see. Yeah, it's saying we got some people.
I was watching it on Facebook.
Yeah, they say you got a few people that's on there that's watching.
Okay, it might be where I am then. It's not letting it come in.
Okay.
If you missed today's show and would like to hear us see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Well, are you? I know you're at an event. Are you in a situation where you can pray?
I'm here, Raheem. Come on, Raheem.
Well,
Let's go.
Well, we got to do it like this. Then.
Come on, Raheem. Let's go.
Now, are you ready, though, Willa?
I am so ready to receive God's word. Come on, Raheem.
Well,
Let's go.
Well, only thing I got to say, I ain't got one more thing to say, Willa, and I'm gonna get out your way. Let's go.
Father God in heaven, Lord, we just honor you this morning. I'm asking you to decrease Willa. Allow the Holy Spirit to dwell in this vessel where your message would go forth and not me. Father, I thank you so much for waking us up this morning, allowing us to see another day, allowing us to have another opportunity to get it right with you. Father, with love and honor you this morning. Father, I'm praying for those who asked me to pray for them, and I might have forgot their name. But Father, I know that you are Alpha and an Omega, Lord. Father, I know that you're omnipresent. I know that you're powerful and all-knowing. I thank you, Lord, for being my Father, for giving me mercy and grace, even when I don't deserve it. I thank you, Lord, for all the things that you do in my life. The word says that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. And we love you, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for allowing the Holy Spirit to dwell in our lives, allowing the angels to be encamped around us, our family to be a keeper, a comforter, a protector, a guider, lining us up with your will and showing us your way. Thank you, Lord, for all those things. Father, I'm asking you to touch each and every last one that's on this line, Lord. Father, whatever it is that their heart desires, our Lord, Father, I'm asking you to give them the patience to wait upon you. Let them know that no one can do it like you can. Yes. Where they'll be able to come back with a praise report and say, Father, I thank you. I thank you, Lord, because I knew and I know it was nobody but you. Thank you for the morning glow. Thank you for the vision that you've given Raheem. Continually dwell in his life, giving him those visions, Lord, where your message will continually go forth. Lord, we thank you and honor you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 We thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Tucson, she said it. She said it. She said, "Ooh wee." Yeah, I know you heard it, Tucson. I know you heard it, brother. She said, "Ooh wee." But look here, that's that when they're praying and they say, "Ooh wee," boy, that's yeah. You doing it. You doing it. But I every day, man, I look forward to hearing Willa as she take us before the Father, man, at the end of the broadcast. I definitely appreciate that, Willa, and thank you, sis. I really appreciate that. Willa has been our prayer since the first time she came on here. She prayed. She said, that's the no. We're gonna every broadcast like that. There, Willa gonna be our prayer. That's gonna be our prayer, and that's what she's doing. She's doing in a mighty way, man. Take us before the Father, and with that, Willa, again, I want to say thank you. I know you're busy, you're at an event, but thank you, sis. Anybody have anything before we get out of here?
If it's gonna be some days that she knows she ain't gonna come on, you think she could record one the night before and send it to you?
Absolutely. And
right there, Rico. You right about it. Send us a prayer, Willa. Send us one.
I got a prayer request, and I want it. Oh, boy, I was going to go into that song, boy. That's an original song right there. That's an original song. I don't want anybody to steal it. I'm gonna write it. I don't want y'all to steal my song.
Mail it, Ryan. Mail it.
Good deal. It's been a great broadcast, man. What time? Yes, ma'am.
Raheem, my son just want to say hi.
Who's that?
How you doing, Ryan?
Hey! How you doing?
What am?
Hey, you doing all right over there?
You say it again?
I said you doing all right over there?
Doing amazing, brother, and yourself?
Hey, if I was doing it better, brother, I'd be you. If I was doing it better. How about that? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question before we get out of here, man. What is the truth? What is the truth? Give me a quick version of what the truth is. If somebody come to you and they say, man, look here, I need to know what is the truth. What would you say it is?
What is the truth? I am the truth.
There you go.
That's a long story short.
There you, there you go. I got you. I got you. Good deal. That's that's the answer right there, brother. That's the answer. But listen, man, it's good talking to you, brother. Good talking to you. God bless you, man.
Huh?
I said, good talking to you. God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to get out. We're going to get
Y'all
out.
have a good-
Huh?
He said, "Y'all have a good one, right?"
Likewise. That's my man right there. But we're gonna explain. Hey, Willa, we're gonna talk to some people a little later. We're gonna talk to some people and
Okay.
yeah, okay. But listen, right now we got to get out of here. It's 10:07. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK, Media Group and Associates, and for being a part of your morning. It is 10:07. You're about to exit the morning glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please, please,
Hey, Raheem,
please be blessed. Yes.
before you go,
Yes.
you're doing your thing tonight for real men, or what is it?
Absolutely, absolutely, and good. Appreciate that. Don't forget to join us tonight. Don't forget to join us tonight live, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whatever time it is in your time zone, it's 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Real men being men, right here from 8:00 to 10:00. Same bad place, same bad channel. Make sure you make yourself available. Join us for Real Men Being Men tonight, every Tuesday from 8:00 to 10:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I want you to give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great evening, great day. Take care of each other, and I'll see you tonight, 8:00 p.m. Don't forget, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DK Media Group and Associates. Love ya.